Let's pretend we scored a goal. Let's pretend we scored a goal.
Get in there. What is going on, people? Welcome to Top 4. My name is Peter, Arsenal fan. I'm joined by Oscar, Chelsea fan.
Happy days, international break, Newcastle takeover. Let's get into it, man. A lot to discuss.
I'm joined by AD, a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, man. Another day, another dollar. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Adrian, where are you?
Parts unknown.
He's at the Undertaker's house. He's on Death Valley. I'm joined by Robinho, a Manchester United fan.
Another international break, another key injury, but we move.
And I'm joined by David, an Arsenal fan.
Kroenke in, Arteta in. I've given up. I'm jumping on. I need the latest. I need the tickets for next week's game. I need the latest drip. I'm done, bruv.
Wait, what?
What?
It's a wrap. There's no winning, bruv. There's no winning coming soon. The Saudis have arrived. So I just need everything, cuz. I give up, bruv. My protest is futile. There's nothing to protest. There's no change on the horizon.
Okay. So you've just taken the shot, yeah?
Bunny.
Big up you, man. Big up Abdi065. He says, "Raw, I wasn't expecting this show tonight. You made my evening." Yeah, man. Great show. Why not?
No. But we have to, Oscar. Let's kick things off with the Saudis, huh? The takeover at Newcastle United. The reason why David has just said, you know what, bun it. I'm going to support the Arsenal regardless, through thick and thin, over land and sea. But listen, guys, 320 million.
Billion, bruv.
Billion.
Man said million.
Billion. Man said million like it was easy.
£1 billion takeover at Newcastle United, the newest giants to join the powerhouse. My God, guys, what were your first thoughts when you first saw the news break?
My first thoughts were excitement. You know, this is not a new story, innit? It's a story that was going on for months and borderline years, innit? Where we knew that these Saudis were trying to come in and take over Newcastle United. When it got blocked the first time, it was a bit of like, why did they block this? You can't cite like moral reasons now when you've let this go on in the Premier League before. Then they've let it happen now, and they've said that the Saudi government will in no way be running Newcastle United. That's the Premier League's assurance, right? So removing all the moral dilemmas away from it. I know there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about that, the regime that has taken over Newcastle. But for the people and for the city of Newcastle United, I am very, very happy. I feel like we've had discussions at length about the state of the game and how much money has been pumped in. I benefited from it greatly when Roman Abramovich took over my club. Man City fans have benefited from it, and now the the Newcastle fans are gonna have to benefit too. So I'm happy. Honestly, if there was any club in the Football League, where you said to me this club is gonna get a billionaire takeover and it's not gonna be my club, I can't think of a club that I would be happier for than Newcastle United. I said on the podcast last week, before there was any takeover news, we were literally talking about Newcastle. And I said, for some reason, I got a soft spot for this club. They're a big club. I rate and I respect them. And to see this happen now, yeah, it's exciting times. Exciting times.
Oscar, you implying that you were behind this takeover? Did you know something last week that we didn't?
No, we were just talking about like your second clubs. Yeah, big up Abdi, man. Abdi said, to be fair, Oscar's been riding for Newcastle since the beginning of last season. I always had a soft spot for this club. I don't know why, but the Geordies, they got passion.
I don't know why?
Yeah. Oh, I do know why.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like I said last week, you know, when this club does start winning trophies, their managers is not going to come out and say, hey, please, can you turn up to the ground next week? Because the Geordies will be there. Do you know what I mean? They're a great club.
Is that the only reason then? Yeah, that's the only reason why you got a soft spot for them?
What do you mean?
There's nothing else. Okay, I guess we'll leave it off air then.
SW6 says the club has great potential. Wow, they've hit the jackpot big. Abdi says, man said a big club. They ain't won a trophy in like 60 years just because they've got a big stadium. Yeah, well, I understand what you're saying, but they have the following of a big club, despite not winning the trophies.
every person who lives in Newcastle supports Newcastle United. Like, you know what I mean? They've got bare man.
What about Sunderland? You don't know? Little tie
Well,
inside.
Sunderland is its own town, isn't it? So it's Sunderland isn't in Newcastle; it's next to it. But Robin, man, what was your thoughts when this news broke and how fast it all kind of came over the line?
Well, I'm just like, I can't believe this has actually happened. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like. I don't care like Newcastle like that, not as much as Oscar. So I don't have any ties or allegiances. I'm just like, they're just a team that have been about Premier League up and down, mostly going down. And it wouldn't surprise me again if they actually go down this season, regardless of the takeover, because of what's just happened. But I was just like, brah, Mike Ashley's actually gone, and now they have 320 billion, and they are literally the richest club in the world. Which is like, how is this possible? How has Newcastle done this? So,
are they the richest club, or do they have the richest owners?
I think they could be the richest. Well, pretty much whatever. They are. They are another country. They are backed by a country. Let's say it like that.
Whoa! The Premier League said no. They're not backed by.
The Premier League said no. But who owns Newcastle? What is it? The Public Investment Fund. That's what it is. But they forgot the first two initials, which is SAPIF.
How ironic. The same way that Man City is not owned by a state either. I mean, how about the actual president of the state? But never mind.
Those two clubs are ruining football, man.
Oscar, they are the richest club. Unofficially, yes, they are. Officially, they're not. But who is then by that metric anyway?
But what I was going to say, the key thing is now, even though you have money, we've seen it time before where money is spent stupidly. If they can do it right and build up correct, then they'll be a force to be in like the next 5 to 10 years. But they got to do it right. That's just the answer to that question.
They won't get it wrong, Robin, because when you're a club like that, of that size, think about Chelsea and Man City, who are, Newcastle are 10 times more of those clubs. And look at how many times Chelsea, Man City spend each and every single time. Eventually, one of them sticks. They get one window right, or they get the right manager, or they get the right whatever else. It's gonna be, it's at some stage. Even if they get it wrong in the beginning, they will fall into Man City and Chelsea. That will be your top 3 title race in terms of because of all the oil-rich money that there is. Eventually, 4 or 5 years, maybe 3 even, if they do well, 3 years time they'll be challenging for the title. In my opinion. So I don't know. It's interesting. What's SW6 saying?
Mike Ashley is the definition of stick and stick and hold. He's probably killing the crypto game. Right. Just an Aspria and them, man. Yeah.
On Mike Ashley, I mean, he bought the club for 105 million. He sold it for 300 million. He's made 200 million on top. And, hats off to him because obviously he's a great businessman. And also, he's kept that club. How can they be sold for 200 million more when they've been relegated twice, where they've been making a profit more or less every season? Apparently, Newcastle can spend up to like 200 million even in this window, this year, like next season, even next summer, because they will be under financial fair play rules, because they've been making profits over all this time rather than being in the black, being in the red rather. So it's one of those. It's phenomenal piece of business there by Mr. Ashley. Adrian, let me hear you on this takeover situation, because obviously this affects probably your club as well, who is right on the precipice of cracking into that top echelon in English football. So do you think this might hurt your chances of remaining in that conversation?
Not necessarily, no, because City will do what they're going to do. Liverpool will do what they're going to do. Chelsea will do what they're going to do. But I think for me, to throw Newcastle's hat into the ring, if you like, for me, it's a big thing. Like Oscar's saying, we talk about Newcastle as being this big, massive club, yet they haven't won something in over 50 years. So for me, it's exciting, and I feel like this takes me back to 2008 when obviously City got that massive injection back then, and obviously we'll see what's happened. And I feel like Newcastle's fun because it's almost like a blank canvas. where there's no infrastructure whatsoever, where you can literally go and sign a whole new starting 11. There's talks of Ralph Ragnick coming in as sort of director of football, and that's a big thing for me, because once you've patterned your director of football, you can then set, your philosophies. You can then pick what manager you want according to that. You can then go and pick what players you want according to that. They've got money to burn. So it should be exciting to see what they're going to do. Are they going to sort of go for, young up-and-coming players? Are they going to go for sort of old, washed-up players like Coutinho? It remains to be seen. Are they going to go for proven players like James Tarkowski? You know what I mean? It's exciting times, I feel. So, yeah, man, let the good times roll on.
Let the tsunami roll on.
A few more comments before we move on. SW6 says, all Newcastle have to do now is follow City's blueprint because Newcastle are garbage. Abdi says, Chelsea were a decent side before the money. I hate that narrative. City came from nowhere. Thank you, Abdi. I feel like I have to remind people of that.
When you say a decent side, what does a decent side? What does a decent side mean to you guys?
They weren't getting relegated. They weren't like fighting all the stuff. They were bottom half of the table.
Decent side to me means a side that was winning trophies and in Europe on a regular basis.
What, were Chelsea in Europe on a regular basis?
Yeah, Roman Abramovich bought a Champions League side.
Well, yeah, I know they were in the Champions League in Ranieri's final year. I remember they finished, was it third or whatever? But
second.
Was he second?
Sorry, Ranieri's final year we finished second, but that was under Roman. Roman bought us the summer prior. We finished fourth.
So he had Ranieri for 2 years.
He had Ranieri for 1 year.
1 year, and then Mourinho came.
Okay, right. I see. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I think at the end of the day, Chelsea weren't necessarily a relevant club in terms of the top end of the tree. They were just sort of top 8, top 6. They were that kind of club before Roman came. So it's not. I wouldn't say what I don't know what narrative Abdi's referring to, but nobody said that.
Side. He didn't say we were a top side.
No, he said I hate that narrative. So I'm wondering what's the narrative he's referring to. Nobody said here that Chelsea were nothing.
As in, maybe nobody said it here, but it's definitely a narrative that's about that Chelsea were nothing before Roman, and it's like, well, we weren't really. Like we was about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were like, I don't know, who would I compare you to now? I'm not quite. Tottenham, maybe.
No, we were winning trophies.
Yeah, but you win trophies. But you were Tottenham.
We were winning trophies.
I mean, you're saying trophies. How many trophies? How many trophies? Like say 10 years prior to Roman's arrival, how many trophies did you win in those 10 years?
We've won about 5 trophies.
What 5?
We won the FA Cup in 2000. We won the Cup Winners' Cup in 98. No, 2000. We won the Cup Winners' Cup in 98. That same year, we won the Super Cup. We'd won the FA Cup, I think, in 97 when we beat Middlesbrough in the final. That's 4 trophies within the space of 4 years. We was out here. People forget, and I don't blame you for forgetting, but we was out here. If you do your research.
Chelsea weren't like I said, Newcastle now, they weren't fighting for relegation. They weren't going up and down constantly. So, and it's the same with City. City were literally in League One at one point. So,
and we were in the Champions League in the 90s as well. It's because when I said Newcastle, I think who's the comment was it? Abdi said they ain't won a trophy in 60 years. Man City were in the Championship most of the time of the 90s. So their come-ups were different gravy.
Yeah, fair enough. David, what's your thoughts on this whole takeover?
Just another with Arsenal falling further and further and further behind, bro.
I don't know about you, David, but I'm looking at Newcastle as my my second Man City team, where whoever I want to win the league, as long as Arsenal's not involved in it, I want City all the way because of what Chelsea did when they came. It frigging pissed me off when this first sort of billionaire foreigner come in and bought a football club and bought the league. Do you know what I'm saying? And that really irritated me. Like I was very angry in 05 and 06. I was angry. I was an angry child. So to see like somebody else now join the party and spoil kind of Chelsea's parade a little bit, because City, if there was no City, Chelsea would be sweeping up. They will be sweeping up this league quite comfortably. But because City's come in now, they're sort of sharing league titles. But now Newcastle's another one that's come into the mix, and may more continue. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping more, as long as they're not Spurs, may more continue to jump into this merry-go-round because, you know, we've mentioned before, I find football a farce. I think it's an absolute joke of a sport because of scenarios like this where we can't necessarily talk about who's the best player in Chelsea in terms of the area of Chelsea, or who's the best player in Manchester, who's the best players in Liverpool, like in terms of nurtured organic talent. Instead, it's just a case of, well, if my centre half ain't good enough, I'll spend 70 million quid and get another one. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm kind of glad to see that it's not a monopoly anymore, because it was becoming one, let's say, when
I was like, it was never a monopoly, if that makes sense. So that's the one thing I can see about the Premier League. The Premier League has never been a monopoly compared to other leagues around Europe.
It's difficult to say, bro. It's difficult to say because before City really did get going, you know, Man United were definitely dominating Premier League football. But you know, and it wasn't, you know, Man United wasn't unorganic. They won trophies, they created such stature and were able to go ahead and buy the best players in football. But again, it was one of those where Chelsea rocks up, and if they've got a bad year, guess what? They can spend 100 million and win the league the following year. You know, City do the same. We've watched it even under people like Pep Guardiola. We've watched it under, you know, Jose Mourinho with Chelsea. Like we've seen when take it from me where I watched Man City buy our players, buy like our first, like, you know, 5 of our starting 11 in 2 windows. And I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me here. How can they just take our players and go ahead and win the league? It was just, but anyway, yeah. So, and it kind of stopped. It stopped our dominance, really. I say dominance. It stopped our reign in football when the billionaires came in.
You make a great point, because I think I remember when Chelsea was taken over, there was this air of like, oh, this whole thing is going to collapse. This whole thing is too good to be true. It might just end. Now we've seen Chelsea do it and be successful. We've seen City do it and be successful. When this takeover news happened at Newcastle, I'm like, well, Newcastle are going to win the league within the next 10 years. It's like guaranteed. They're a team that's sitting 19th in the Premier League, but I think all of us can comfortably say, yeah, they're going to win the league in the next 10 years. It's a guarantee. A team that ain't won nothing in 60 years. So it takes the spontaneity and the craziness of football out a little bit. The idea that a team can do anything, a Leicester.
You might still get that once in a while, innit? You might still get, you know, the Blackburn and the Leicester will come every like 10 years or so.
But will the next? Well, do we consider Blackburn one of these teams?
No, as in a Blackburn and Leicester, they're the same thing to me. Yeah.
No, as in why do we not consider Blackburn?
But Blackburn kind of did buy as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They did, but they were not
young to know what was the landscape before. But Blackburn were not a big team in the 80s.
No,
then in the 90s,
Blackburn they came from nothing. Blackburn, really, because their owner, was it Johnny Walker? Is that his name? Jack Walker. Sorry, their owner came in, but it was a case of, look, we recruited right. Bang, and then they went and done it, and then it crumbled afterwards. By the way, I couldn't find Blackburn in '97. You couldn't tell me where they were in '97. So I treat them as the Leicester alumni in terms of a team you never expected to win the league, even though they spent big. It's like Everton winning the league this year, right? They've spent big in the last couple of years, like hundreds and hundreds of millions, but they would still be considered the Leicester, the Blackburn of this time. But you know, it goes to show. League champions, on average, if not 90%, are the ones who are spending the money. If you spend the money, and even if you're spending the most money, you win league titles. And that's the sad thing about football now, is that you can't necessarily leave it just dependent on.
I wouldn't just say just money, because we've seen teams spend money, i.e., like Man United, and still suffer. It's all about teams and.
Who did you lose to, though? Who did you lose to? You lost to a team who spent money. Do you catch my drift? I totally understand what you're saying. And I think even as a Man United fan, you must be so very frustrated, because it's like, we're doing all the ingredients that everybody else is doing. However, we don't seem to be getting over the line. Because as you said, coach, the coaching, the talent, whatever. And how you spend that money is another thing. But we know full well, if you finish above City, you win the league. That's just the golden rule at the Premier League for the last 7-8 years. Finish above City, you win the league. That's it. So what does that look like?
Yeah,
100 million.
And like, you look at City's dominance, and you don't see that slowing down anytime.
No,
like you don't. So like Liverpool won the league, that man took it right back. So it's like
I need Newcastle to get ASAP. Listen, get your stuff together.
Well, here's an interesting question. SW6 has said, who wants to bet that Newcastle won't win the league in 10 years? And I want to speak on what Robin just mentioned here about how if you can spend money, but obviously if you spend it in the wrong ways, it doesn't always result in winning trophies. So what do Newcastle have to do to make sure they don't fall into that trap?
Because I'm not willing to take that bet. Just as a preference.
I'm definitely not taking that bet.
No, I'm nowhere near it. I'm nowhere near it.
I forgot her last name. Amanda Stavely. She said our aim is to win the league in 5 years. 5. She didn't say
Oscar.
She said 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years.
No. She said they want to win the Premier League in 5.
Do you know? She said she did say about challenging at the top of the tree in 5. She did say that. But Oscar, do you know how much money they're gonna be pumping in the next 5 years? Guys, look at your bank accounts. We'll look at your bank accounts now and look at it in 5 years' time. Newcastle are gonna be pump action into that account.
The thing is, I don't think it to go from a poor Premier League side to a good Premier League side. I don't think it takes that many windows.
No, not anymore.
I don't.
Not anymore.
You can find 2 players that take you up the league 5 places.
See,
it's crazy.
The first thing they're gonna have to do, sort out that whatever backroom stuff first, because obviously you know when them Abu Dhabi man had this nonsense Tim Cook, Mark Hughes doing nonsense. They said get rid of these man, bro. Got Mancini, you see Yaya Toure, Company Silva. Yeah. When they start bringing in the quality, bro, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But then, my question.
SW6 says is Brucey out of here.
Of course.
Says, Brucey ain't making it to the weekend. Yeah. So when we're looking at management and all that stuff, where are we going?
I hope they let Brucey go with dignity. I pray they better give him the bag. Give him the bag and let him walk gracefully. Because the job
I don't think he can't not get the bag.
No, but you know, Bruce doesn't seem to be rated, and I understand why, because he's not necessarily top quality, top echelon manager. However, look at the situation he's been dealt with at Newcastle United. He's done a bloody good job. He's done a good job, but you would never think that if you spoke to a Newcastle fan. You wouldn't think Ashley's done a good job as a Newcastle, fan. And it's like, I don't like this narrative about Newcastle where it's like, it's, they're not spending or they're not doing this, they're not doing that. It's like, well, hang on a minute. They've had 2 relegations. Okay. Like they've done bloody well. The mistake they made is getting rid of Benitez or not convincing Benitez to stay, obviously. But he saw the writing on the wall. But then when Bruce came in, he got money, he spent money, and he finished well in the league, by the way. Do you know what I'm saying? He was never in the relegation battle. For a start,
but you know how it's gonna go, bruv.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that he goes with dignity. That's what I'm hoping for. Because like some managers get kicked out, they get the boot. Did you catch my drift? I hope it doesn't happen like that for him.
What's the difference? He's gonna get sacked regardless.
Yeah, I don't.
Not necessarily. Let it be mutual consent. Let them offer him a fee where they say, you know what? Okay, I'll mutually terminate my contract. Don't be a sacking.
I think the only way for it to be dignified is if they actually say, well, here you've got a few months now to save your job, perform or not. Because if there's no way they can sack him this week and there's dignity in the sacking.
No, Oscar. Like I said, mutual consent. That's why I said the bag, because he said the contract. Obviously, he's got a contract. Blah blah blah. What I'm saying is, Amanda Staley says, look, Bruce, you've got a year left on your contract, 1.5 years, right? And we owe you like 5 million a year. Here's 15 million. Thank you for your time. Let's mutually end. He leaves with more money than what his contract was left with.
You're telling me
make a wish.
Him 5, but we're gonna go 15. Do you think?
He has 5. He has 5 per season. Let's say,
but these men have 320 million. What is 15 million to them?
A billionaire's move. Let's say, his extra 10.
No, Oscar, when you read that people leave by mutual consent instead of it being a specific sacking, it's because they both come to an agreement on it's like Willian's termination and Ozil's. There was extra money on top just to say, look, please, let's end this now. Let's end this marriage now and get out of here. Okay. I think they should do that with Bruce and say, look, We know the atmosphere and how everything is feeling. Because nobody really thinks he's a bad manager unless you guys do. But it's a case of look.
I think Newcastle fans do and Newcastle people. I'm not really following it that deeply to know exactly what he's doing wrong. But
the football's awful.
He's not like they hate.
Football's awful.
They can't stand
him. Before you're pushed, really. Like at the end of the day, he's gonna fall off the cliff eventually. So,
well, do you give Bruce money? Do you say, you know what? In January,
I see him not lasting that long.
No, I'm saying, but would you give him the money if you were the Newcastle owner?
I won't give him a penny.
Okay, so the debate then opens up. Who are you looking at realistically to join Newcastle tomorrow?
Antonio, no, I'm joking.
What did you say? Who?
I was going to say Antonio Conte. I was going to say no, I'm
joking. I know people are ringing that bell, man. They're ringing that Conte bell, boy. They're gonna have to convince the hell out of him. Like if he entertains the conversation,
I think the hardest part will be convincing him to live up north.
Yeah, but that's my other thing. That's my other, not my other concern. The other interesting thing. How many players are going to actually move to Newcastle?
Listen, my friend, how many people?
I get the money is a thing.
Man City. Listen, Robin. People.
I'm not talking long. I'm not talking long term. I'm talking short term.
Do you think Newcastle is a bad place to live?
Not a bad place to live, but to play. I'm saying, am I gonna be like, let's say like a big player?
I would say.
Am I gonna be like, cool? Am I gonna give up? Let's say a person that's regular Champions League.
Yeah.
I'm talking like constant like semi-finals Champions League.
They won't go there.
Big team. No, that's what I'm saying. But would a player do that? Would a player go from that team to Newcastle? That's the question I'm asking.
I don't think so.
I think my answer to that question is yes. I think a player will always be brought out. You got players going China. You got players going everywhere for the bag. They would do it. Number two, I just don't think Newcastle should go that route. I think they need to be smart. You saw what happened when Man City, the first person they signed was Robinho. We saw how that turned out. You've got a Rolls Royce in a team full of Fiat 500s. It just doesn't make sense. I think they need to buy players around their level, buy players that are established within the Premier League and can actually bring them up the table. And then
their competition.
Once you've got a foundation, then you go on and you go build.
But just little things like, go get James Ward-Prowse, go get Tarkowski. Like I think AD mentioned it earlier. Yeah. You got to get players that are around your competition. You take out a Tarkowski, it makes Burnley so much weaker, and it makes you stronger. You take out, Lamptey, for example, or just little things like that, just little nice, cute signings where you're like, actually, this is a nice looking team.
Yeah, and City. It wasn't Company, Aguero straight away. It was your likes of your Bellamy's, your Shea Given. Obviously, that had Richard Dunn in the side as well. So you've got like a core of Premier League established players, and then over time you go and you get some of the more elaborate names.
They'll buy like 5 players in January. They'll just shoot and go buy 5 players in January.
And I think they should. And I think
they have to. They're 19th. Then they haven't won a game this season.
19th. That's what I'm saying.
They need a marquee though.
It doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me if they go down. It wouldn't surprise me.
Adrian said they need a marquee. Why do they need a marquee signing? Why can't they just get good ballers?
No, to breathe life into the project and to say, right, it's a statement. This is who we are. This is what we want to do, and it's going to entice other quality players to come and join the party.
I agree with you, Adrian.
You have your Tarkovskis, you've got your Ward-Prowses, whatever, but then you go and you get a 60, 70 million pound quality player to elevate that team, similar to what City done with Robinho.
I was going to say, if there's no Robinho at Man City, I beg to differ if they win the league title in 2012. I beg to differ if they get the talent that they recouped. Because remember Robinho in that side, and then who else did they signed somebody else?
Robinho. Why? They had to recover from Robinho.
No, but when they had Robinho, they then got Tevez, and then they got Yaya just before they got into the Champions League. Then they got in the Champions League.
You're
and Vieira and people like that.
What year did they sign Robinho?
Robinho was like 2009 or 10.
08?
08, bro.
I don't think it was 08. I don't think it was 08.
We are, bro.
It was early.
I remember him burying. I remember him burying against Arsenal in 2010. I just remember that. So whether he was there that long, I'm surprised if he was there that long. But anyway, he came in. But then people like Vieira came in. People like Yaya, I think, came in before Champions League football. So like you do need to set that precedent. You do need to put in a signing and say, well, hang on. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what's That's all smoke and mirrors.
No way.
You just got to climb the league, man. You just got to climb the league.
Also, the manager is what the marquee signing will be, in my opinion.
I'd agree with that. I would say go out and get a big name manager. I mean, they just had Rafa, so they know how to get European quality managers. So you go out and get
Rafa's a desperate guy. We've come to establish. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I mean,
let's be fair.
Regardless, he's
in a brothel.
He's a winning manager. He's a champion.
Shout
out to Nims9 who says they should bring in Lampard, who's also a Champions League winning manager. But I don't know the way.
Newcastle United, do not touch Lampard with a barge pole. Whatever you do, don't go anywhere near it. I'd go Eddie Howe or Graham Potter before I go Lampard, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
For how long? 6 months.
Easy.
I do Eddie Howe for 6 months. Keep us in the league and then go get content.
Yeah, Eddie Howe can
Listen.
get out of it.
In 5 years,
who is available?
No, to be honest,
5 years,
I do
Erling
think
Haaland will
seven
be in
about
the
Newcastle.
team. I can't believe it.
You'd what? You do what?
I do think
Newcastle?
if I'm being honest.
Oh, come on, Adrian.
No, stay in the league, and then next season we've got a platform.
I'm not gonna lie. I normally would agree with the Big Sam talk, but what he did with West Brom was beyond shambolic. No chance. No chance.
Quick,
So was Sunderland and Palace. By the way, his Sunderland side is probably the best work he's done, keeping them up, because that Sunderland side was god awful.
I don't think any Premier League side should ever hire.
But the point I'm making is what Robin sort of alluded to earlier. Like Newcastle could very plausibly go down this season based on their current crop of players, so they need to actually stay in the league this season.
Ten Hag. Just go and get Ten Hag. I'd call Ten Hag and say, look.
Is he going to leave Ajax?
1,000%. 1,000% for Premier League football and the bag of all bags. The bag of all bags. Listen, and that's a project for days, bro. I hate Ten Hag makes perfect sense. He's like the way people talk about Brendan Rodgers here. I feel like that's the continental version, but he's actually a better version than Brendan. Because I could hear Brendan being spoken about as well at Newcastle, and I'll be like, "Look, Newcastle, stay away. Do not go anywhere near it."
Let Brendan go to the Tune.
I'll get lost, man. Don't make me dislike the Tune. I like the Tune, okay? Don't make me dislike it. Brendan friggin' Rodgers.
SW6 says he agrees with Adrian. Last question.
Yes.
They've got a game against Spurs at home, sold out St James's Park. Are they going to win that game as their first under new ownership?
1,000%. That stadium.
I don't think so.
That stadium. Is that game live on telly?
Probably
not. It's probably at 3:00, isn't it?
But Peter.
Yes.
How's the ball going to get to Callum Wilson?
It doesn't matter. Listen,
Callum Wilson even fit. That's
the Gallagher end are gonna suck that ball into the back of the net. Let me tell you that right now. They're gonna freaking hoover that ball in. Let me tell you. 4:30 on Sunday. 4:30 on Sunday.
Super Sunday game. That midfield, bro.
Let me tell you now, bro. Tottenham will crumble under that pressure.
Hey, what's going on? What's it? PR?
Do they knock on the door of Harry Kane? Wait, mate. Now that we've won 3-0. Now we've beaten you 3-0. Do you fancy coming over to the Tune?
Pete, I'm annoyed, bro. I'm annoyed.
Why are you annoyed?
Because I just looked at the fixtures and Man United at 3 o'clock.
Howler.
At 3 o'clock.
Howler.
The Premier League makes me sick.
And yet we have to endure Watford against Liverpool at 12:30.
Endure? Beg your pardon.
I mean, come on. Leicester Man United 3 o'clock on a Saturday, not on TV.
I'm happy with that because I have no defenders now.
That's outrageous.
For this weekend. So I'm happy not to see them on TV.
Jamie Vardy is going to do the C, and we're going to miss it. Terrible.
That's awful.
Jamie Vardy. All right. Anyway, what was the last question on Newcastle? I think you just mentioned it. Yes, they are going to beat Spurs. Yes.
I think they're going to beat Spurs. Deal.
All right. Shall we move things on?
Yeah, man.
La France, Le Bleu have won the Nations League, ladies and gentlemen, and what a good game. I watched the highlights. It seemed pretty decent.
Nations League. Yeah.
An awful tournament, by the way. I'll just kick off with that.
I don't give a damn, bro.
It's an awful. International football that's nothing to do with the World Cup or the Euros should be binned off. I don't want to see it.
Is the
Nations on TV?
Is the Nations League better than having friendlies?
Yeah, it is.
But we've got both. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that angers me. We have both. Why? I thought the Nations League was going to take over friendly, so therefore every game meant something. But you're giving me friendlies and Nations League and World Cup qualifiers. I saw we saw 3 types of football this midweek already, like in the weekend. So why get lost? I'm here with Wenger's proposal. Just batch the international break games, make them into like 1 month. Play all your games and qualify. I'm all for it. I'm sick of this nonsense. We've got another international break in November. I'm taking 2 weeks off work. I'm livid.
Yeah, apart from the World Cup every 2 years, the rest of it, no problem.
You're not a fan of the 2 years?
No.
Why? Any reason why?
It loses its staffing. I think every 4 years, like the Olympic, it's such a big way to big things up. Such a way to get things like this is the tournament that you need to actually work to get into. It's not like
explain. Okay, how do you feel about the Champions League though? It's every year. It's not lost its source.
But I feel like club football is different because we get on a weekly scale, whereas international football we get on a much less scale, on a much smaller scale.
So you think a World Cup every 2 years waters it down? Because say for example you're a player like say Dele Alli. Let's say for example Dele Alli, right? Who was hot for Tottenham in 2015 till about 2017. Did not really. His peak moments were not in either World Cup. Too young for the 2014 World Cup, and then 2018, we couldn't find him. So
I mean, he was in the squad. He played.
He was in the squad, but as in like,
but he just wasn't that good.
He wasn't that good. So you look at a player who's had a hot streak and then misses out the World Cup because it's every 4 year gap. What are your thoughts?
There's too much. You also have to think about the players as well. Too many competitions.
When the players
going to get a break.
Bun the players. Bun the players. I'm sick to death of this. I was fighting this players talk during the COVID pandemic, and I saw football for what it really was. It gave more football in the pandemic than it did in any other era. Bun it all. I don't give a damn.
But there was a 3-month break. Come on,
bro. There's too many competitions, bro.
There's too many competitions. I'm still to this day saying that the League Cup needs to get rid. Because there's no point.
No, that's disgusting. Of course, a Man United fan would say that. That's horrible.
No, I'm still, that competition. I'll happily bin off.
What about our league teams? What about the EFL? How are they going to feed themselves?
There's the FA Cup. There's the FA Cup.
I don't know what Robin's talking about here, but I wouldn't talk about. There's Copa America. There's the Asia Cup. There's Euros. There's African nations. Bruv, just leave it as it is. Let's take half. Some of it's good. The rest of it, every 2 years. Come on, bruv.
Man. Okay. Well,
when are you going to play those competitions?
Did you guys hear Thibaut Courtois' comments? He came out at the end of the third place qualifier because obviously they lost in the semi-final.
They lost, bruv. I don't care. I don't care about his comments. He concedes too many goals.
No. He literally said what you're saying right now. He literally said, there's too many games of football. Before the game, he was like, why on earth are we playing a third place playoff? It's a pointless game. The only reason this game exists is to bring more money, more revenue, more TV streams, all of that. We're playing way too much football at the moment, and nobody's thinking about the players. Now, you guys know I really can't stand Thibaut Courtois, but I have to agree with him on this point. He came out, he said he articulated it very, very well. They're fed up. Some of these games, we're saying we don't really care about the Nations League. Some of these players don't really care about the Nations League either.
Would the players, however, take a deduction in pay if they wanted to have less games played?
Why should?
But most players give
now national teams get paid now because they fought against it. They fought against playing for free.
To charity more time.
Not all. I mean, that's optional. But they get paid, whereas before they didn't get paid before. But the thing I'm saying is you look at there's, like you said, it's all about money, right? So there's more money in football now more than ever before. Yeah. But also, who's collecting most of that money that's being pumped into football? The players are. So it's okay. Well, what I'm saying is that if they're saying, look, there's too many games, there's too many tournaments, there's too many of this. Will that reflect also in their pay? If you say to them, look, we are paying you X amount of money because of how many games you do give us. If we start to peel things back, we have to renegotiate your contracts that said tournament, said club or whatever.
Can I say, I don't think so. I don't think that's the case because if they invent a new competition next season, right? and I'm playing more games. My contract is still the same. My contract might have a yearly increase, but I get bonuses though.
I'm not talking about your weekly wages. I'm talking about like your bonuses, your add-ons.
Yeah, well, obviously, if they're not in the games, then they won't get the bonuses for those games because they won't exist. I don't think Thibaut Courtois cares about that. He's making hundreds of thousands a week. So, yeah, I think the players ain't really concerned with that.
The sport sold itself to Satan himself. The minute they did, it did. It literally bent over for him and said, "Look, give me the money." And that's what they did. They took the money, and now it's a case of, but there's too many games. There's this tournament. Listen, guys, we've got World Cups that are taking place in nations and in countries that let me be careful what I say before we get cancelled on this air. But you have to ask yourself some serious questions. We've even got a FIFA scandal on Netflix. If you want to watch it, you can watch the scandal that took place in order for certain things to happen. I think like the boat has gone. Until the federations, the heads of these organizations go, the boat's gone.
Yeah, but that sounds like a defeated attitude. I feel like the players who are playing
with the Nations League. When the Nations League was created, guess what? Nobody had a problem with it because they said, you know what? At least there's games that means. Wait. The Nations League is better than having friendlies because it's games that actually mean something. We watch the games, we celebrate when Portugal won it and whoever else that's won it in the past. To now turn around and say, do you know what? There's too many games. When Wenger says, let's have World Cups every 2 years. Obviously, it's not going to be adding more to the games that we already have. It's going to replace other games. That's all it's going to do.
But Pete, what you're doing is you're saying, we had it and we celebrated it. Look, how many football managers? Jurgen Klopp has come out and complained about too many games. Now Thibaut Courtois is coming out and complaining about too many games. There's plenty of footballers within the world that have been feeling like this is too much. We don't want a Nations League. We had this conversation about the Nations League last time it was on, about whether we cared or not. So you can't just be like, we've all accepted it so far. No, some people have been legitimately upset with these things. So it's not a new.
Who was upset? Who was upset with the Nations League? Because I didn't hear anyone.
Bro,
I didn't hear anyone. And you mentioned Klopp. Klopp was moaning about the timing of the games, and also because of the fact it was COVID. He talked about COVID. He
spoke about the fact that TV is making these guys play more games than they need to. He spoke about
how? What? Where's there more fixtures than what he was used to?
Bro,
when he joined the league, it's the same amount of games as it is now.
No, bro, there's literally
things
like this, the international breaks and all of that. He's incorporated.
Oscar, you take away the Nations League, we had international friendlies, pointless football matches.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the Nations League didn't add more games. It just replaced stupid games that were taking place. That's all it did. The amount of games you play in a season, let's say like if you could play every game in the season, it's like 62 in total. That's still the case. It's still the case like it was in 2010 as it is now. The games haven't got more. Klopp was pissed off at the timings of the games, as he was saying. TV makes you play, sooner than other days.
But the point is, there's not a consideration for the players when these things are being done.
No, there never has been. There never has been, and there never will be as long as they take the money. There never will be.
That's the point.
Oh, okay. Ask them to cut their wages then, because they got paid for it. These clubs got paid the salary.
That's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous? They didn't get paid for it?
Christian Eriksen collapsed at the back
because they played. Okay.
Be serious. Man collapsed and had a heart attack at the back end of what a 50-game season. Like at the end of the day, at some point, the health of these players has to come first. And if players are actually telling us, raw, like enough is enough, like physically it's too much for us. We need to listen and something has to be done about it, bro.
Two things. You already know my stance on playing football during the COVID times anyway. And you already knew my argument after Christian Eriksen went down. Number two, if you don't want to play the games, don't play the games. The players have the right to turn around and say, do you know what, this is frigging ridiculous. We're not playing this game. We're not having another football. Like Ryan Giggs never played 30 games for Wales. Something stupid like that. Why? Because there were some stupid friendly games, and he said, you know what? Stuff that. I'm not playing your friendlies. What for? And obviously, he had a long career. He had a very, very long career because he was able to look after himself. He played far less games than, say, Rooney, for example.
I feel like, Pete, what you're asking for is a very, very big stand, And what Thibaut Courtois did the other day was vocalize his opinion, say some of us are not happy about this, and a bigger stand could come off the back of what he's saying. Like it could be a a snowball effect that leads into something bigger where these guys actually do campaign for change. So I think it's a bit harsh to dismiss.
Walk. No, I'm not dismissing it. I'm saying walk, Tibor. Get you and your guys that also agree with you, that feel the same way, in the same way, and I know I can't compare the two, but in the same way Kevin Prince Boateng was racially abused and he told his boys, lads, we're getting off this pitch right now. And they took the fines and they took whatever else because of what the cause was. If the players do feel this way, that's the only way they're going to be heard, is get off the field, don't play. And don't accept the wages. You know them ones. Like, don't take the money for it. Because, you know, if you sign a contract to play X amount of games, we can't then turn around and be like, we're playing too many games. They've signed for it.
But you don't sign a contract to play X amount of games. That's not what you do.
When you play, what do you mean? Oscar, there's not more games than there were before. This is what I'm trying to say to you. You're saying that there are more games. You tell me where. Where did we squeeze more games in this calendar? That's ridiculous anyway.
A tournament where there wasn't one.
It replaced friendlies, bro.
Yeah,
Come on.
Exactly. A competitive game replaced a friendly game.
Also, we have to take into account. So, what a friendly is? A friendly essentially is a game that doesn't need to happen, and they've replaced it with a game that now apparently does need to happen. So
it's like a community shield.
Yeah,
it's like a community shield.
The third place playoff doesn't need to happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because the Nations League is the community shield. Let's have it right. Or the League Cup, if you want me to give it any more credence. But it's the community shield, really. It's still a friendly tournament. It's not an honor. I don't think you have it as a like a major honor. It's not a major honor, is it?
I think it's classed as a major honor. I think
it's minor. It can't be
shield.
No,
as in like on Sky Sports, like they were proper promoting.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's the first time.
I think they want to hold it in that regard. I think we're all going to know it's the third one. It's like
it's the third one.
To us, it's like it is what it is. But in actual like football terms, I think it's actually classed as a major honor. That makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah, UEFA regard it as a major tournament. Absolute.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Of course, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Absolute shambles.
It is an absolute shambles. But Benzema's goal, guys, to kick things off, and of course the Mbappe. By the way, it was offside. Mbappe's goal.
What is going on in football?
Listen, English referees are trash, bruv. The minute I saw it, bruv.
Guys,
I'm surprised.
I want to agree with you. I really want to agree.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Off.
No, you don't. He doesn't want to agree with
I do. Because I think it should be cast as offside, but I'm going by what the rulebook says. He did touch it.
What's the rulebook? Explain the rulebook.
Who touched it?
So the rule, I think it was Garcia touched it. So like, it's actually when you look at the defender. By the way. So basically, it's until Mbappe actually touches the ball, that's when it can be classed as offside. However, because the defender touched the ball before Mbappe got it, it's classed as a new phase of play. Kind of like when Ronaldo's like in front of the goal and it parries off the goalkeeper. Ronaldo can touch it and go in as a goal. It's the same thing as that. That's why Mbappe's goal.
I didn't know Garcia or whatever Spanish defender it was touched the ball. I had no idea.
He touched the ball.
That's absolutely.
I know. No, that's what I said. That's what I said. I think it's actually anti-football, and I agree with you. But the rule book is what it is. That's what I'm like. Okay.
Isn't there a difference between playing the ball and touching the ball?
No, as soon as the defender touches the ball, if any player of the opposition touches the ball, it's classed as a phase of play.
To be fair, if there was intent, Oscar, if there's intent to go for the ball, the Spanish defender,
which it was,
if there's intent to go for the ball, then it's considered.
But there's only intent to go for the ball because there's an offside player behind him.
Thank you.
But Mbappe didn't touch the ball.
He's involved in that phase of play. Like he's influenced that phase of play. And he's offside.
I don't. If you're not there, I don't touch the ball.
But Oscar, would you accept if Garcia controls the ball and does a Steven Gerrard and lay it off to Thierry Henry? You're saying that's fine.
Huh?
Like it's onside. So basically, it's a more convincing playing of the ball and giving it away.
If he's in control of the ball and he passes it, then yeah. But he's not in control. He sticks his leg out and it nicks off his stud. The ball doesn't even change direction. He didn't touch it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Robin says he touched it. I didn't know that.
He definitely did touch it. I'm exaggerating. He definitely did touch it.
The referee didn't see that, bro.
He doesn't control the ball. It rolls off his foot and
no VAR.
No, there was VAR. VAR said it's.
Well,
this is what I'm saying. VAR said this is what happened. he touched
Anthony
the ball.
Taylor escapes
Yeah.
escapes blame.
Bruv, he
Nah,
dodged
man, I'm
the
still
bullet,
giving it
bruv.
to
He dodged the bullet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even and I
Yeah.
agree with SW6. He did know.
that-
He did actually know because literally
know,
Mbappe
bruv.
ran from behind.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah.
So therefore, if VAR are making the call, then there you go.
He's
There
only
you
played.
go.
Listen,
because
but
there's an
honestly, guys, yeah, the flag should have gone up, bruv.
1,000%. Yeah,
I don't give a
1,000%.
damn if man nicked him or bruv, that is offside. And because he's so incompetent, bruv.
Do you know what?
Oh,
Bro, I want to have a go at those commentators because who was it? It was Tyler and who else? Who was the second comms? It might have been Dixon.
I know exactly what you want to have a go at. I know exactly. Go on.
Well, no. I'm talking about this goal where
Yeah.
like they were debating. Oh, is it onside? Yeah, I think he's just onside. And I was like, brother, are you watching the same screen?
No, he was well offside. I was like, yeah, it's offside.
And I'm king benefit of the doubt. I'm king of that. But he was offside. There was no benefit of the doubt.
He was so offside. Yeah, it was
end,
ridiculous.
Martin Tyler had the nerve to say that, these British referees have refereed a marvellous game. No, they haven't.
Oh, Tyler.
They got it wrong in the biggest moment.
Tyler's been paid.
They didn't get it wrong. The interpreter was correctly, but it should. But the rules should be changed. That's what I'm saying.
But hold on.
Oscar,
been the rule.
Robin, I'm not gonna lie. In
the
the Premier League, I think they give offside. You know,
when has that ever been the rule?
something tells me in the Premier League they would have given offside because it was just ridiculous.
No,
It wasn't Steven Gerrard.
Peter, I agree with you. I believe it's offside. It should be offside. But if it's the rules, it's the rules, and I can't argue the rules.
When has a deflection or an interception ever meant that you're onside? Like, when has that ever happened?
I mean, we just saw it.
Yeah, man. SWC.
That's all nonsense, bro.
It changed direction, but I was shocked. Great finish.
Bro, that's not a great finish, bro.
So hang on.
No, it wasn't a great finish by Mbappe. Mbappe was a
that was smelly. That was smelly. I'm talking about Benzema,
Yes.
blood.
No, but
Benzema?
David, wait. Before you finish, before you go on Benzi, Mbappe's goal was so friggin' overrated. It was ridiculous. I thought you was about to call him out, David. Unai Simon, call him out. Call him out. Because goalkeeping was awful.
I thought you wanted him to replace De Gea, though.
The whole step over, the step over from Mbappe was slower than my gran. You know what I mean? Like she could turn quicker than he did. It was just woeful behavior. I'm not for it. But Karim Benzema, people, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because that was
literally how many seconds was it? How many seconds was it? Spain went ahead like good counter by Spain, by the way. After Mbappe goal, good goal. I was thinking, okay, Spain are on their way to win this, and then we can have another rant about the Champs. But no. Karim Benzema reminded everyone why he should have gone to the Euros in 2016.
honestly, the French Federation is just a farce, man. Honestly, they literally shunned man from playing in the national team because of his dealings with Balbuena. I mean, come on.
You know what's incredible? He's been out the game for 6 years and he's still got 90 odd caps.
Because he's the guy. He's the guy. Mbappe's goal was a comfortable finish. However, people were waxing lyrical. He did the step over and blah blah blah. I mean, the goalie was a statue, bruv. Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. People are saying Benzema top 5 strikers in the last 15 years.
Do you know what? Yeah,
excellent career now. A trophy added.
The most underrated striker in world football.
I don't think he's underrated right now. I think in his career he's been outed.
It's taken too long. The praise for Karim Benzema has taken too long.
Yeah,
because even when Ronaldo was at Real Madrid, for example,
Ronaldo and Bale got more plaudits than Benzema.
Had got more plaudits than Benzema.
There's a reason for that.
Benzema has been putting up stats, for days, for decades, and it's like we're talking about him now. Like he should be in the conversation of like your Lewandowskis and so on and so forth. He's an underrated striker. When you think of if you said top 5 strikers in the world, would you put Benzema in there, like initially, without giving it thought? Because I think this is what everyone's realizing. Benzema has been good and he's a great striker and he's been put in the conversation. However, Benzi has been doing this thing, like low key. A bad season for him was scoring 20 goals in La Liga. You know what I'm saying?
Was that one he scored 5?
I mean, there's always a year. I mean, I give grace. Everyone's got a year. You know, when you're a player like Benzema, everyone's got a year.
Lewandowski ain't got no grace. Suarez ain't got no grace. But
First of all, Lewandowski scores in a Farmers League. Let's have it right, and he scores 40 goals a season there.
Okay.
So,
that record stood for how long?
Yeah, for real. Like, if
and I was like, okay, we can't talk about Lewandowski like that.
No. I will say, listen. I will say he scored in a Farmers League, but he put the stats up. He did put the numbers up at the end of the day, regardless.
You said the record stood for how long, but how many elite strikers were playing their football in the Bundesliga?
Yeah.
But I'm saying that I thought you were saying that Lewandowski ain't that guy. I was like, are you crazy?
Kai Havertz scores for Germany. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
You know, Oscar, if you go through this guy's record in La Liga, right? Well, he joined in 2009, and in each season, okay, he started off with 8 goals in 27, 15 in 33, 21 in 34. 21 in 34, by the way, the season they won the league. He got 21 goals in 34 appearances with Ronaldo and Higuain in that side, right? He then also, he obviously, he didn't have a great season the following year, 11 in 30, then 17 in 35 the year after when Bale joined, right? Then he got 15 in 29, 24 in 27 in 2016, 11 in 29. I mean, the guy's got, what did he get last season? 23 in 34. The year before that, 21 in 37, 21 in 36. He's got 9 in 8 this season.
That's great.
You know, his total career goals, he's got 370 goals in 737 games.
But you know why that is? You know why that is? You know how he was able to score as many goals? Because he didn't have to play those international games. So,
but the thing is, he should have. He should have. He should have.
I think that plays a factor, you know.
It must do.
What, 34 now? 35.
Who? Karim?
Karim. How old is that?
Karim
He wasn't playing against Moldova in
33.
And he could technically say that he's won a trophy for France. He could technically say that.
Yeah.
Listen, bro.
I agree with Peter. A couple of years ago, the disrespect I was hearing, they would say he's washed.
If there's one guy, let me
Madrid has been amazing.
Let me pay homage. Ernest has been one of Benzema's #1 fans ever since. For the swag alone, for his swagger alone, and also just the fact that he was just banging in goals, scoring assists like it was frigging nothing. The guy could have won the World Cup with France in his sleep. Let's just keep it a buck. Having Giroud there, don't get me started.
Giroud was basically asleep up there, wasn't he? So
he was a lamppost. Okay,
France won the World Cup with 10 men.
Yeah, they won it with 10 men. Thank you very much. Thank you, Robin.
Kenrith Jones up front.
Kenrith Jones. World Cup with 10 men. Do you watch football?
They won it with 10 men. They won it with 10 men. Giroud just stood out there. He just stuck his little Puma boot out there for a little flick. I watched it for 5 years at Arsenal. I watched it for 5 years at Arsenal.
They won it with 12, man.
Imagine a goal scorer, a striker that doesn't score goals. Piss.
In the World Cup.
How about this? Hey.
Did you see him in the Euros in 2016? Do you remember him in the Euros in 2016? Don't get me started, man.
Yeah, he was good. What are you talking about? He was good in 2016.
Yeah. It's funny they didn't win it, didn't they? No.
Yeah, it's not his fault, is it?
Let me go back to the final.
You guys
go back to the final.
You guys are absolutely disrespecting Oli Giroud, yeah.
I can't stand him. I just can't friggin' stand him.
Because he's a Champions League winner, he's a Nations League winner, and no mention in the Ballon d'Or top five.
Take a quick Chelsea. Take the glasses, man.
Don't try to rub that for me.
No. I'll
There's a reason Benzema ain't wearing number 9, and it's big Oli G. Right?
I was genuinely asking. Because I didn't see him.
No, I'm joking. One last comment from Abdi. He said Zlatan over Lewandowski.
No way. No friggin' way.
Not for me.
I am furious by that comment. No freaking way. The guy he says he's won everything everywhere. I beg to differ. I beg to friggin' differ. Zlatan.
Can you read the comment?
No, I can't. I'll vomit if I do.
Oh, come on.
No, you read it. You look at bum lick draw. So glad he's out of our football club. Oscar, when he's your main centre forward for 5 years and you've won nothing, come back to me. He doesn't get more than 16 goals in the league.
When he scores a bicycle kick against Atletico Madrid and you win the Champions League, come back to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great. As much input as he did for France, winning all those trophies as well.
But yeah, speaking of France, I know we need to move on, but I have to make a quick comment. What does Lloris do in France that doesn't get replicated in the Prem? Because I believe there's two different people. Him to France is a different.
I think he's whacked both times, man. People will never ever erase him having a howler in a World Cup final just because France won. Don't think I forgot.
Yeah, he had a great performance. Listen, I'll preface it with this. He had a great performance last night, right? Or the night before. Yeah, last night. I
keep saying that every time I watch him for France, I keep thinking, he's had a good performance. He's had a good performance. But when I think for Spurs, it's just like, what's going on here? So I'm just trying to think.
Don't worry.
What's the difference?
This weekend he will remind us who he is. He will remind us.
That's the thing, and that's the thing. He definitely will. Like, he will have a howler this weekend. I'm thinking, why have you gone from this to this? Where's the consistency? That's what I asked for.
Yes, howlers for France too.
He's not a good goalkeeper. I'm sorry. I don't rate him as a good
World Cup
goalkeeper.
final. What surprises me the most is the fact that he's captain of both of these clubs. I mean, not clubs, but
there must be something about it.
Captain of France, captain of Tottenham. And I remember I watched the Tottenham documentary.
Oh no, is he the number one captain?
He's Tottenham captain. Tottenham
captain.
Hang on. So England have Kane as their captain. He doesn't even captain his own club.
Oh yeah, I've always said this. Henderson
should Tottenham captain.
I've always screamed this. No one listened to me.
Interesting.
Interesting. Anyway, when I watched that All or Nothing documentary, I thought there's going to be some sort of leadership quality that you see in him behind the scenes. There was nothing. He did a speech before a game, and I was like, that wouldn't motivate me.
Even Kane's speeches wouldn't do nothing for me.
Okay, well, let's move back to this Zlatan question. SW6 says, why not Zlatan over Lewandowski? 4 goals in the Champions League game, respect. I think he's talking about Giroud with that one. But Lewandowski did that too. Abdi says, Peter, are you high? Ibrahimovic has done it everywhere he's gone. He's just missing a UCL. Man came to England at 36 and scored 28 goals.
I don't give a damn what he did at England, scoring 28 goals. What did he win? He says he's done it all everywhere. How comes he's never won a Champions League yet? Every club he's played for has won the Champions League, bar PSG, which they will soon, by the way. They will do it at some stage. But
does that mean does the trophy add to
Lewandowski has won the Champions League?
Lewandowski's got Champions League. He's got Champions Leagues. He's got Bundesliga titles. He's scored 40 plus goals per year. I mean, come on. Come on.
But let's talk about the qualities of the players. The Champions League is irrelevant.
If the question is who do you think was more talented, I would have gone Ibrahimovic for sure. But like, if I'm looking at both their careers at the end of it all, I'm going with Lewandowski all day long. He's performed better.
I'm Lewandowski too. I just think he's a better player.
Like the thing is, Zlatan got in his own way. He could have been so much more. He got in his own way because he's too frigging big-headed. But he could have done so much more, especially at Barcelona, at Inter. You know what I'm saying? He could have done so much more at those two clubs specifically. But hey ho, when he came into the scene, when I saw him at Ajax, I thought, bloody hell, this guy is going to be a monster. And he was a lion of Jace. He calls himself a lion. He was more like, you know what I'm saying, Simba. You know them ones.
Was more of a tiger.
Huh?
Was more of a tiger. A puma.
Yeah, he's a bit of a puma thing, isn't it? He's a puma.
Right.
Still an animal, but yeah.
Shall we move on?
Question line. You can move on.
Yes.
But a quick 2-minute interjection. What do you think of KDB's comments about Belgium's golden generation?
What did he say?
Basically, he basically just said we are the golden generation, but we're not just gelling. He just basically said we're not good enough. Because he was tired of all the
Is it England 06 a Jace or not?
Well, no, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Belgium's golden generation succeeded.
They should have won it.
For the nation.
The thing is, out of all the competitions they could have won, I think this was it, to be honest.
Robbie,
give me a euro. Give me a euro.
Give me a euro. Give me a euro. Give me a Nations League. Give me a Nations League. That's what I want.
Guys. This is Belgium.
Nah, facts.
Belgium. Like these guys to win, and I get it. They have the quality. Even I thought they would do better than they did. Yeah, but talk to me about Belgium's team in 06 World Cup. Talk to me about Belgium's team in 2002. Talk to me about Belgium's team in 98. Talk to me about Belgium.
So the thing is, you're saying
who are they?
You are saying the exact comments of what Kevin De Bruyne said. You literally said we are just Belgium, and I was like,
if you take away this era of Belgium, right? No, on a real, take away this era of Belgium. Name me a Belgium legend. If you say Impenza, then you know. That's what you know.
Without Hazard and De Bruyne, who is Belgium?
Jan Vertonghen and Vermaelen.
and Alex Witsel.
I'm talking about the history of the great games that have come before. Who are they?
I swear their manager.
Sorry, you know sorry, the thing that made me understand it is because they had a World Cup 2018. They had a really good World Cup. They went to the semi-finals. Yeah, they would feel like they should have gone and won it then because they felt like they were close to France. They were very close, and that should have been the final. I think they were the two best teams in that tournament. Yeah,
yeah.
They came home and had a parade. They through the center and thousands
of Brussels
welcoming them home.
Rightly so.
Rightly so.
Nation of Belgium. This is where they are. So
yeah,
we wanted more for them, but I think that's maybe our own expectations.
But you know what? Yeah, they gave the golden generation, quote unquote, to a manager of the caliber of Roberto Martinez. That's
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This guy is garbage.
He's not garbage. He's not garbage.
Whoa. You sit there, you bash, you cuss, you abuse Brendan Rodgers, but you give Roberto Martinez the time of day.
Oh, thank you!
I'm sorry. How? Oh, he's messed up. He's messed up. He's messed up. You've messed up. You've messed up. You've messed up. Let me. Wilmots. I got Wilmots. Adrian, how friggin' dare you? First of all, talk to me. Name me Brendan Rodgers' CV to date so far. Just give me that. No. As in just his trophies. As in just tell me his trophies.
One FA Cup.
One FA Cup and a couple SPLs. Yeah, I'll give him that. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas Roberto Martinez with Wigan won the FA Cup, got them into Europe, survived in the Premier League. I think how many years in a row was it?
Oh, don't say survive.
Yes, he did survive in the Premier League. He did survive in the Premier League. Wait, let me finish. Let me friggin' finish. Yeah, they relegated eventually because it was Wigan, not because of Martinez. Because of Martinez.
This is the thing that made me sick.
Thank you, Abdi. Abdi, you're a G. Shall I tell you why? Because that Everton side, how can we forget the Everton side that went to 5th place when they were giving teams a frigging hard time? They were giving some of your clubs a bundle that season in 2014, if I remember correctly.
Finishes 5th is the worst crime of humanity.
Because he was second all year. He was second all frigging year, Adrian. How frigging dare you? How frigging dare you? Listen. And also, Roberto Martinez, we were just waxing lyrical about what Belgium have achieved because at the end of the day, it's just Belgium. This guy is world #1 ranking.
No, we're not waxing lyrical about it.
No, I'm saying you're waxing lyrical about what they've done. I'm saying you've got to credit that to Martinez and the fact that they were the world #1 nation in football. They were #1 in the world.
This conversation started because we're talking about did this golden generation fail? That's what everyone's talking about.
And the answer is no. Did it fail? Are we serious?
I'm with you. I've just never really rated Roberto.
He won the FA Cup with Wigan, beating Man City in the final.
Well, that's his greatest achievement.
Yes. And his Everton side, by the way, Swansea are only relevant because of Roberto Martinez before Brendan Rodgers came in the helm, by the way. But nobody wants to talk about that. We'll leave the Swansea career alone. Then his Everton side in 2014, when they finished 5th, with man like Delafeu and Barkley running the thing, Lukacs, big Rom, yeah. And then what he's done with Belgium, he's not failed at Belgium. He's done very, very well. Sorry?
Where did he leave Everton?
When did he leave?
Where did he leave them?
I think 6th or 7th. Did he not? Did he get sacked or did he get the Belgian job?
I think he got the Belgium job, but I don't know where.
He might have got sacked. He might have got sacked.
I think he got sacked. I think
he got sacked.
I can tell you where he left Wigan in the champion.
If there's one thing I will give, if there's one criticism I have of Roberto Martinez, and I was saying this when he was Everton manager, if there's one thing he cannot do to save his life, his own life, is he cannot defend for toffee. His defending at every single club, and even at Belgium.
Belgium.
Do you remember we were waxing about?
They were 2-0 up against France.
Do you remember we were talking about? Yeah, do you remember we were talking about Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld? They then had they had what were the fullbacks? They had some decent fullbacks as well. And you think to yourself, that's what company. People you think to yourself, come on, give me some clean sheets. He couldn't buy a clean sheet in his international career.
In the World Cup and conceded 3 goals to Japan.
But no. If there's listen, if you just think I'm pro,
respect Japan.
Name their star player. I'll leave you. Tommy Ashley.
I don't need players. I just like Japan. That's all. I have time for Japan.
Look at that. Rodgers failed at Swansea, Liverpool, and Watford.
Rodgers failed at Swansea.
Maybe Swansea, I would say no, but Laudrup took the club further than him. Laudrup took the club further.
First season in the league.
Yeah, and then Laudrup won the League Cup the following year, got them in Europe comfortably.
Hang on a minute.
Comfortably.
So if
he didn't fail. I'm not saying he failed at Swansea. I'm just saying Laudrup. He took him somewhere, and then Laudrup took it further.
The only reason Rodgers didn't take them further is because he got the Liverpool WC after his first year.
Yeah, and he had a howler at Liverpool. Let's be very clear.
I don't know.
Friggin' howler. Losing that Villa final, that semi-final to Villa, howler. That was the mark on his reputation. That was it. After losing the league title, you think, okay, fine, it can happen. But even then, it was still treacherous.
But then he also
that semi-final against Villa, Tim Sherwood's Villa, which we dispatched in the final. Did we not give him 4? The game was over at half time. Absolutely dispatched. You lost 3-2.
But how I look at it as well, no manager in Liverpool's history got closer to a league title in 29 years than Brendan Rodgers. So it can't have been that bad.
It was though, you know it. It was bad.
I'm saying it can't have been that bad. But
it was turbulent. It was turbulence.
Liverpool finished second in 2009. Yeah, since the turn of the millennium, they haven't finished second another time other than Brendan.
Turn of the millennium.
But yeah,
let's get to Robinho's questions, please.
Yeah, let's go into the big question. Question 1.
All right, cool. Before we begin, I got
wait, hold on.
Who's rubbing man's mic?
Rubbing your
yo. How about now? Can you hear me?
Lovely.
This guy.
Yeah,
lovely.
So, I need you guys to be as objective and non-biased as possible with these questions. I got 10 minutes for each question, and I just want your honest thoughts and opinions. All right, cool. So, regarding the Premier League, we've seen loads of fantastic footballers in our time. Those that have come and gone, those have won many, many titles. But we need to appreciate what happens in the middle for the go from the defensive attack, and that is the midfielder role. Midfielder role is one of the hardest role positions in the game because there's so many things that you need to do. But
I've nearly died twice playing in midfield.
What do you mean?
My heart rate flipping out was like 180. Playing in the midfield is the worst position ever.
What was you pressing hard?
Mate, my heartbeat was coming out my rib cage, mate. I was panting. Flip me.
That is the worst.
I've got nightmares of playing in midfield. I've got nightmares.
We've seen midfielders that have been the greatest of times, such as Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes, Lampard, so on and so forth. However, the question is very simple. We start very simple. Who has been the best midfielder in the Premier League of all time? Debate away. You've got 10 minutes. Off you go.
So this is midfielder, no DMs, no center attack.
What does midfielder mean?
Okay. So midfielder, I'm talking about who fits the bill as a midfielder. So if you're going to say they have weak cam rolls or good DM rolls, who fits the midfielder role?
Hey, Abdi, fam. Abdi.
Belly on the pitch. That is funny.
I need the title of centre midfielder. So an all-rounded centre midfielder. who is the number 8?
For me, it's not even a question. You know where
You
I'm
can even
going.
you could even throw in a number 6 as well, and that'll be fine.
No question. A complete central midfielder who can defend, score goals, play around the park.
Yes.
Patrick Vieira. I can't even look further than that.
No, quick
after Patrick Vieira, I can't see anybody behind. I can't look at another midfielder in Premier League history. I can't. I know who's second though, but I can't look past Patrick Vieira. I can't.
I have a sneaking suspicion all of our answers are going to be biased purely because if you watch your midfielder on a weekly basis, you're going to rate him more.
I would love to know who people rate over Patrick Vieira. I'd love to know. Complete midfielder.
Okay.
Unbelievable captain. Premier League winner. FA Cup winner. World Cup winner. Euro winner. The guy is phenomenal.
Decorated.
Debut at 20 years of age, and everybody was off their feet when he made his first tackle. Unbelievable scenes. Patrick Vieira. His last kick was scoring a penalty against Manchester United. Whoa, Vieira. When he comes back to the Emirates on Monday, I'm going to be singing it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, I'm going to be singing his name. Vieira, without a shadow of a doubt, for me.
Get packed in. Yeah. Peter, that was very well said. Let me read some comments before the next person goes. Abdi065 says Paul Scholes. Next, he's on to the next question. You don't want to hear nothing. Josh says Kante, Engolo, Kante.
Good shout.
That's a very good shout.
Timo Werner just scored. Newcastle with an amazing shout. He says Ramirez.
Put that Ramirez back in the bin, fam. Put that one back in the packet.
And then SW6 says Yaya Toure, the most complete, absolute demon. The peak is insane.
Oh,
and that's
good.
I can't lie. I hold Yaya Toure quite high up there. Quite high up there.
Is he number 1 for you?
No, Yaya was a beast.
Give us the best season.
I wouldn't say that. The thing is, I was thinking about it between Vieira and Yaya Toure because the things that Yaya Toure provided, I had to actually rewatch it. Like when I went back home down, I rewatched Yaya and I was thinking, now this guy had it all. He was a big guy, so he was hard to get the ball off of. He could finish left foot, right foot, and he was just constantly providing the goals for City, like to give multiple Premier League titles. It was just a shame that they didn't go far in Europe. And for such a guy, even when he's playing at Barcelona, to come to City, he tore the Premier League.
There's a compilation of Yaya Toure that's been circulating Twitter over the last couple of weeks. Like all his goals. The goals he was scoring.
The thing is for me, Yaya is outstanding. But at what point does longevity come into this conversation? Because I feel like his 1 year is up there with the best years ever in Premier League history. But when I look at some of the names that we're going to mention, like the longevity of being at a peak high level is way longer than Yaya's in the league.
What would you say is Yaya's peak years? How far are we talking?
13, 14.
13 to 14, that's it?
No, as in that year.
No. I mean I'm just talking at his best. What years was he at his best in whether it's in the league, if you include Barcelona, what years were his best? Because I think since he walked through the door till about 2014, 15, I think he's been phenomenal.
When did he join City? What year did he join City?
I want to say 11.
It was 11. I think it was 11.
I want to say 2011.
I think his whole career at City.
In fact, I think his debut was against Chelsea in the Super Cup.
Was Yaya in the 2012 City winning squad?
100,000%.
Yeah, he was there.
What? Oscar, you forgetting he scored against... wait, when did he make his debut? I could have sworn it was...
He joined in 2010, bro.
10.
Yeah, he's been there for a hot
minute earlier. I said he came after the Robinho one. It was definitely more than 1 year for sure. But I'd say from the day... I say the day he walked through the door till about 2014.
I don't think his first season he was like that. Well, that is crazy because I didn't even remember he was there. But yeah.
Are you forgetting that League Cup against Stoke in the final when he won? Was it 5-0? And he scored that banger? No, it was 1-0. He scored that massive banger.
Yeah, I think he won their first trophy by scoring a goal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Abdi says 12 to 14. Do we have any other names to go? Who wants to throw a ring into the hat?
Xavi Alonso, you can't ignore Fabregas, Xavi Alonso.
Oh, Timo Werner!
Oh, this guy.
This guy, go away.
No, he just scored a worldie. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
Who are they
I was
playing?
gonna throw in.
I can't even pronounce the name.
I know I can pronounce it. It's just Macedonia, isn't
it? Okay. Come on, guys. What are we starting?
I was gonna throw in Silva.
Oh,
the best. Though. Let's talk about best midfielder.
I thought you said Oscar. The best, bro.
That guy, I can watch Silva play.
I know you and Ernest love David Silva.
Nah.
Do you know
David
what?
Silva.
Yeah. When I saw him live for the first time, the first thing that shocked me about him, every time he picked the ball, he had acres of land around him. Nobody was ever near him. And I said, that is a skill. That is a frigging skill to just pick up grass and throw it around you and nobody's there. Like every single time. I think he was delicious. Absolutely delicious footballer. Absolutely.
Good enough to be the best.
Maybe not the best, but he was worth a mention. He was worth a mention. It would be wrong to not talk about him, like have a conversation with him.
Adrian, I'm waiting for you to throw your hat in
Oh, I don't need to tell you. You know who Manuel is. I think I'll be honest with you. This guy, we're talking about longevity. We're talking about consistency. Steven Gerrard had 7 PFA Player of the Team, 7 PFA Team of the Year inclusions. 7. So 7 times. He was one of the 2 best midfielders in the league, according to his fellow professionals. And for me, in terms of if you want him to drop deep and dictate a game, you can do it. If you want him to, go and grab the game by the scruff of the neck and make something happen, you can do it. Passing, tackling, flair. Magical moments. Obviously, the only black mark is obviously his lack of Premier League title. But if you're talking about actual footballing ability, for me, Steven Gerrard is the best midfielder to play in the Premier League, in my opinion. Again, yes, Liverpool take glasses, but I think what he done was incredible, and the longevity that he done, and the variety of his playing, to the point where there are times he could play right wing, he could play right back, he could play left back. He was almost the Wayne Rooney of centre back or of central midfielders, in my opinion. So for me, Steven Gerrard, because whatever you want him to do, he can do it. Do you want him to play as a support striker? Do you want him to play as a 6? Do you want him to play in his home as an 8? So yeah.
Wow. I rate that because for me, Steven Gerrard, phenomenal player, isn't it? Phenomenal player, absolute engine. Like you said, would take a game for Liverpool, carried Liverpool on his back on so many occasions.
Facts.
One of the.
No, I was just gonna say, his PFA Team of the Year.
Yeah.
Just want to point out Vieira had 7 as well in a shorter time, but never mind. Carry on.
Vieira had 7.
Apparently so. I'm literally on his wiki. He was in 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. Gerrard in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6. Never mind. Never mind.
I think it's 7. That's okay.
No,
I said 7, but it's actually 6.
You did say 7.
I said 7, but it's 6.
You did say 7. Can I go?
1 minute. 1 minute left.
Oh, 1 minute left. Simple then. I'll be very, very quick. The best player in the Premier League era in midfield is Super Frankie Lampard. Top 5 goal scorers in the league. The only midfielder in the top 10. He's top 5 assist makers in the league also. Whatever side of the game you wanted, he was giving you. Not the most defensive, but could hold down centre midfield in his early career. Even the back end of his career, he won Champions League playing in the base 2, not as an attacking midfielder. People love to act like he played behind Didier Drogba because he scored so many goals. He didn't. He was always a midfielder, always a number 8, yet he still got forward, knew how to finish, knew how to pass. Assists were crazy, goals were crazy, as I've mentioned. And he won everything there is to win at Chelsea. I can't speak
everything there is.
Everything there is to win.
He did.
Everything there is to win.
Fair enough.
Facts.
So
Lamp says, sorry, SWC says Lamps over Gerrard.
What's the basis of Lamps over Gerrard?
More trophies, I guess.
No, he was a consistent player. He was dependable. Less mistakes in his game. Less
Truth is, Oscar. Truth is SW6 though. It's Vieira and Scholes over those two. But
hold on. How on earth is Scholes over those two?
Yeah.
Go on, Robin. I think this is your cue.
I'm a mediator. I'm staying out of this throughout the whole.
Oh, you're not choosing one.
SW6 says Scholes over Gerrard in the PL.
I said I'm being unbiased. Yeah. I'm not being a.
Do you know what?
Do you know what? Above Gerrard.
Oscar, shall I tell you why? Paul Scholes, as a player, talent, giftedness, he was unbelievable. He played for Manchester United, so I've even got tinted glasses against him. But my God, Paul Scholes definitely not overrated. He was a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player.
You know why? Because Paul Scholes, like you just said, talent and ability-wise, was one of the best players to ever lace a boot. Yeah, but when you think about what they've done, we're talking team of the years. How many team of the years you're going to find Paul Scholes in? Hardly any, yeah? You're not going to find Paul Scholes. When Manchester United were winning league after league after league, when would you ever say Paul Scholes was top 2 in their team for that season? Never.
He probably wasn't, but he was still instrumental, though.
Bro, Gerrard put Liverpool on his back and won a Champions League.
Oscar.
Lampard was the best player in a team where we were chucking money every year buying Ballack. Lampard was still number 1 for Chelsea. Scholes was never that guy for United.
No, Oscar, on those conversations, no debate. What I will say about Manchester United and Paul Scholes, you go back as far as 96, probably 97, and you go as late as 2008, the one constant in that midfield is Paul Scholes. They changed that midfield every single year, whether it was your Verons, whether it was your Hargreaves, whether it's your Carricks, whether it's your Andersons, whether it's your Roy Keanes. You know what I'm saying? They have had a plethora of midfielders walk through that side. The one remaining constant is Paul Scholes. There is not a chance.
And the fact that he retired and came back and won the title.
Came back and won the league again. Nah.
So?
It's not like he played 5 games. Like, he was constantly playing. I'm talking. We all agree. Technically gifted, he was better than most, right? But the fact that he's just salt in your food. As soon as you take him out, you then know the difference. Salt doesn't get ratings. Everyone wants to talk about the Maggie and the Amarat and Retete. He was the salt for Manchester United.
I'm sorry.
No doubt.
I'm sorry. I get what you're saying, but you're talking about.
We have to move on.
Gerrard and Lampard played more games than it.
So Robin, to close your question, in terms of if we had a midfield 3, is it a midfield 3 or midfield 2? Can we decide a little team there of who we would put?
Vieira, Gerrard, Lampard, done.
No Scholes in a 3.
No.
See, if you said 2 and Scholes missed out, I can understand. In a 3, I'm sorry, I'm shoehorning Scholes in there. I'm shoehorning that in.
Tell me who you're taking out.
I'm taking out Steven Gerrard. I'd go Lampard, Scholes, Vieira.
That's it.
Personally. Just personally.
Gerrard. Nah, fair enough.
Thing is, I would remove Lampard, but my God, Lampard. You know what it is? Yeah, as a player, and if the eye test, I couldn't give a damn about Lampard, but the CV smacks me in the face. I can't ignore his CV. I can't ignore his goal tally, his goal record, the trophies. Oscar said he's won everything he can win in football. He's won it all. So
I can't. Based on ability. Are we doing it based on?
We're doing it based like who's the best, isn't it? So it's
overall. The question is, who is the best?
Who's the best midfielder of all time?
Okay, well, then Gerrard. It can't be Gerrard then.
No, but it's Vieira. Don't worry, it's Vieira.
It can't be. Yeah, if you're factoring everything, it can't be Steven Gerrard. Unfortunately,
the thing is about Gerrard though. Some of the fact that he carried a football club is still bigger than some people's. Like Scholes, the fact that Scholes was only just necessarily talently gifted. Would Scholes be missed at Man United if he didn't play? You can't really tell. But with Gerrard actually put them on the back of his backpack and walked them places. You know them ones. So. Yeah. I'll go with that, but it's difficult. Shout out to Abdi6065. Bro, man's getting ratings from him.
Ball. SW6 says Gerrard didn't win 1 Premier League title. For me, that what you won is irrelevant because we're talking about who's the best midfielder. So what did you impact for your team?
Irrelevant.
Yeah,
It's irrelevant. It's too strong.
Okay.
If you've been at a club, sorry, wait, let me finish. Let me finish my point. If you've been at a club as high as Liverpool, the stature of Liverpool, and you were there for 10 or 15 years, and you didn't win a league,
he was there in their darkest times. Are you telling me he put Spurs in Liverpool, they win stuff?
No, I'm not. Let's hear what I'm saying. To say that it's irrelevant that he didn't win a league, whoa, that's strong. That's strong. That's strong.
Peter, look at it like this, right? And I hate using the word "if" in football debates. I really, really do.
Yeah.
But if Steven Gerrard plays for Manchester United, does he have Premier League trophies?
In his back pocket.
If Paul Scholes and Lampard play for Liverpool, do they have Premier League trophies?
Fantastic. You know what? That's a fantastic point, Adrian. I'll take your point there.
No.
That's a fantastic.
So that's why I don't like
what a
using
shot!
it.
What a frigging shot!
But guess what? If Lampard plays for Liverpool, he's still top 10 goal scorers in the Premier League history.
Oscar and Adrian, let me ask you this though. Does Scholes or Lampard slip at Anfield when they're playing Chelsea away when they just need to draw?
Lampard does not slip.
Probably
Lampard does not slip. Lampard does not slip.
So Oscar, with that then, Lampard wins the title at Liverpool and Scholes wins the title at Liverpool.
I beg you name
1 year.
Lampard.
You know how many assists he got that year? 34, by the way.
How many assists did he get?
Was it like 14? So,
Good grief. No, do you know what? Look, to say that he didn't win a trophy is irrelevant is too strong, but I understand your point for sure. To say it's irrelevant is too aggressive.
I always do
aggressive.
this. I'm talking about the quality of the player. I don't care what you've won. I do the same thing in Harry Kane debates and all these players. Like, I'm looking at the quality of the player. I think Gerrard's elite, and I think he's better than Scholes. Simple.
But would you say, I mean, obviously, winning trophies is a validation of your achievements.
Do you know what?
That's what you're playing football, isn't it?
No, do you know what it is? Adrian. No, but to Adrian's point though, it's the fact that Lampard has got it's ridiculous, the trophy cabinet. Yeah, it's not that he's won one more Premier League title than him or he's got one more Champions League than him. It's a joke what he's won in football, Frank Lampard, right? He's the all-time top goal scorer for Chelsea. I mean, I'm not making this up, and I don't want to praise him. But guys, Oscar Gerrard is up against guys who've got at least 5 Premier League titles.
But the thing is, if you put Gerrard in Chelsea and you take out Lampard and put Gerrard in, yeah, Chelsea still win most of those trophies. The difference is Frank Lampard was the best player at Chelsea for a lot of those trophy wins. When we won the league in 04-05, he was our best player. Yeah. That's why when I bring it over to Scholes now, I'm like, when was Scholes top 3 at United?
No, he was at a point. I'm sure he was at a point.
Maybe
the treble season. He was. You couldn't go against him.
He played the Champions League final.
Yeah, he might have been suspended. But that era of Man United, like from '99 to about 2001. My God, he was serial.
He was serial. Ever above Cole and York? You telling me he was above Beckham?
I'm not saying he was above, but he's in the top 3.
He's never above. That's
in the top 3.
You can't categorically say it.
No, Oscar.
With Vieira, you can with Lampard, and you can with Gerrard.
Have that conversation with Manchester United fans. They will tell you Scholes top 3 from the years 99 to 2002. He's top 3. He's top 3.
They'll start giving me Zidane quotes where Zidane said Scholes was good and when Xavi said Scholes was great. They won't tell me about what he did on the pitch.
Oscar, no, you're going too far.
Peter, let's call a spade a spade. You can pick up Roy Keane's best years at United, and you can say when Roy Keane was United's best player. You can.
Yeah.
Why can't we with Scholes?
No, because you know why? Because Scholes was 9 out of 10 every year.
Every time.
Every year. And the thing is, the difference is because what you got from Keane, you got a 10 out of 10 year from Keane, so you can say, let me pinpoint that one. When we talk about Andy Cole, you can pinpoint the year. You can talk about certain people. This guy was like 8.5 year in, year out, that it was watered down.
Adrian, I have a question to you. Can you point out Iniesta's best years?
Yeah.
Great point. No, great point. He wasn't top 3. Iniesta probably wasn't top 3 at
Xavi. Same with Xavi.
What? Bro. Yeah. 10-11.
No.
09 Iniesta was dumb.
Yeah.
10-11.
Come on. And the thing is, bro.
Forever 10 out of 10. Iniesta. Xavi,
listen.
Also, Scholes was operating at that level as well.
You made a great point. Yeah, you said that Scholes was like what a 9 out of
8.5. Easy 8.5 every season.
But every other player we've mentioned, Vieira, Gerrard, Lampard, you can name a season where they were 10. Even Yaya gave us a 10 season.
But my point is, Oscar, that's true. That's true. But Yaya gave you 10, maybe 2 out of 7 years.
Yeah.
But if Scholes gives you 8.5, 10 in 10, I'm
Scholes
sorry.
Scholes to me is in the same bracket as David Silva.
Right. Unfortunately, I have to end it here because
cool.
because we're going in and out. Right.
The last few comments, and then Abdi said, "This is kind of Oscar. I can't believe how you're violating my legend. Tell me one time I lied. Quote me.
Oscar, you've gone too far. You've gone too far.
Tell me where I lied. That's what I
went too far.
Tell me where I lied. If I lied, tell me. Genuine question: was Scholes a big game player and never got to watch him too young? No, he wasn't.
They were. He took him to the semi. He took him to the final of the Champions League.
I was say, Oscar, you're moving too mad.
Game player. I'm trying.
He was definitely a big game player. It's not even a question. He was. Listen, Josh. I'm guessing that's the name. Do some good. Go on YouTube and do some.
Peter?
Do some. I don't know, man. I was using the algorithm in my mind. Just do some YouTube stuff on him. It's the little things he did that people don't watch or don't know, and then when you hear the stories of what he was like in the training ground, it's a joke. He was a joke of a footballer. It was one of those. It was just unfair how talented he was.
Yes.
Cool.
Let's
Any more comments before we move on?
No, there's none.
Cool.
Right, I'm going to have to legitly move this down to 5 minutes because I wanted 10 minutes. And even I tried to cancel at 10, you went over. Hey, so 5 minutes the next one. Anyways, now to talk about a specific player in Premier League greats. Sergio Aguero, one of Premier League's best strikers in history. 184 Premier League goals, the highest international player in Premier League history. Got more hat tricks than I said international player. That's what I said. He's got more hat tricks than Thierry Henry and took less time to do it. And he took less time to get more goals than Thierry Henry. I have to put it there because the South American averaged a goal. The South American averaged a goal every 106 minutes compared to the Frenchman's 122. He also struck 20 goals for 6 seasons, one more than Thierry Henry. So I'm just saying, this guy also won 4 Premier League Golden Boots, or more than that in his history. Basically, I'm saying Sergio Aguero, one of the all-time strikers.
How many Golden Boots did Aguero?
How high is he? That's the question. Where does Aguero stand in Premier League strikers, and is he the best international player of all time?
I can straight up.
You got 5 minutes.
I can straight up answer your second question. He's definitely not the best international player. I think Cristiano Ronaldo and Thierry Henry can chat to him for that.
And Dennis Bergkamp.
I'll get out of here. Is he the best striker? No. I think Thierry Henry is above him. I think Alan Shearer falls above him. I'm torn between him and Suarez.
No, Oscar.
Torn between Aguero and Suarez.
You can't be.
Like I said, the question is where does he stand? So not is he above this? You have to give me the list. Where does he stand?
Oscar, let me make this clear for you. He is above Suarez.
Yeah.
Let's be very clear.
We're talking longevity because he never had a Suarez season. He never did.
Right. Because guess what? Like Scholes, he gave you 8 out of 5, 8.5 out of 10 every year. He scored 20 goals on 6 occasions. Robin just reeled out. Okay. 20 plus goals in 6 occasions.
Did he ever hit 30?
Did he ever hit
30?
Does he need to hit 30?
I'm asking. Because Suarez hit 30.
I mean, these are Premier League goals.
Year. First of all, Suarez had one good year in the Premier League and went.
And then dipped.
You cannot put him even in the breath of Aguero.
I agree, Peter. I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. Suarez. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Suarez, if we include his Barca career, then hello, let's have a conversation. But if we're talking the Premier League, no. Thierry Henry, Alan Shearer, you mentioned. Who is there?
Out of my way.
He did. At the Arsenal, he hit 30.
Why in the league?
Yeah, for Arsenal, he hit 30. 2008 was a year, man.
Goals.
Yeah, he got 30 league goals in 2008.
Hey, the league was a joke back then.
No, it was. Listen, 15 of those goals came against Derby County.
What about Van Persie?
Van
for Aguero.
Similar for Suarez to me. Similar to Suarez.
I want
It's
to vomit.
hot for 2 years.
You had like
vomit
3 years
when
where he's really put up numbers.
Oscar,
Aguero
as an Arsenal fan,
Aguero got 30 plus goals in 5 seasons.
But not in the league, just in all comps. The thing with Oscar,
but 20 plus goals in the league 6 times.
The Van Persie debate is interesting because when his biggest problem was injuries, but whenever he played 15 games, he got like 12 goals a season.
His goal per game ratio was always done.
His goal per game ratio is probably the best in the league. It's probably the best in the league because he was playing as many games and scoring as many goals, but never played for a long time. So you had a better debate for Van Persie than you did Suarez. I wonder.
Aguero for me is the best big game player as well. Man got injuries every season and still hit 20 plus goals. Yeah,
that's what the 30 goal argument you lot make. The guy had injuries every season.
Yeah,
every season he had injuries.
To the end, though.
But he's still goal to game ratio. He's got 20 and 25.
Yeah, but he's not chatting to Henry. Like,
Harry Kane. How have I forgot about Kane? I totally forgot about Kane. Funny enough, but
I think he chats to Kane. I think he chats to Kane, but I'm not involved.
Andy Cole cannot be slept on either. No, he cannot be slept on because I swear he's like top. Is he not top 5 of all time?
Andy Cole's top 5 of all time. So is Wayne Rooney.
Oh crap, Wayne Rooney. Jesus of Nazareth.
That's what I'm saying. International players. Where does he stand there? But where does he stand in Premier League strikers?
Oh, so we're talking.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think for strikers, he can't.
In terms of strikers, that's everyone. But where does he stand in terms of international player as well?
Bro,
because the reason I asked this question.
Henry, bro.
The reason I asked this question because a lot of people now are now starting to have this debate: was he better than Henry? So I've thrown it out there.
Oh hell no!
Hell no! So that's what I'm saying. I'm throwing it out there because there is people that's rumblings. I know what you guys think.
Second.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll answer that for you. Right. People unanimously agree that Thierry Henry is a better player than Sergio Aguero, right?
Yes.
But Sergio Aguero was a great player. So people bring up this whole, he was a better striker to give him some form of roses. Bro, Henry was a better player. Henry was a better striker. The one thing I'll give Aguero, potentially a better finisher, yes, but across the board, Thierry Henry was a far better striker. Like, not far better, but Thierry Henry was a better striker than Sergio Aguero.
Aguero does have more league goals though than Thierry Henry.
Okay,
that's fine.
By 9.
I'll tell you, he played more seasons though.
Thierry Henry was legitimately the best player in the Premier League for about 4 years, undoubtedly.
Robbed of Ballon d'Ors. Robbed of Ballon d'Ors. Pavel Nedved. Oh my God, I still can't get over that. I can't get over Pavel Nedved winning it in 03.
Definitely the best player in the league, and
I'm sorry, I can't look past Henry.
There's certain players who obviously you got your Messi and Ronaldos, then you've got your Ronaldinhos, and for me, Thierry Henry is in that bracket of player where you're watching someone who is clearly above the level that they're playing at. It's like watching a year 10 play with year 7s, and you're like, this guy's the best player on the pitch every time he steps on it.
Oscar, that is a phenomenal point because I felt like that in 04 and in 03. I felt like all was playing amongst kids.
You got 1 minute.
I'm talking about the Arsenal team. Like, he was levels above for sure. But yeah, Henry then Aguero, best 2 foreigners. Oh,
yeah.
I think
Salah will make his way up in the.
Salah, that's what I'm saying. Yes,
Salah's still in progress.
It's all positions. The best 2 foreigners. Oh, sorry, I didn't even change the title. It still says best Premier League. My bad. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Aguero, man.
I think Cristiano has a shout as well.
In terms of striker, I think Aguero is number 4 in the league. I think he's number 4 of all time in the league. Yeah. Because Shearer, Henry, I'm gonna go Andy Cole in there. I'm gonna put Andy Cole in there, and then I'll squeeze Wayne Rooney. Just about.
Nah. Wayne Rooney has to be behind Aguero, bruv.
Yeah. I'm not gonna argue it.
Henry is probably top 3 Prem ballers. Top 3. He's top 1. He's top 1 Prem baller of all time.
I said he's top 3 and he's not 2.
I'm sorry. Like, for me, I can't express what Thierry Henry did to me. The nightmares I had of this guy. It was insane.
Oscar,
it's
Oscar,
it's the same thing we say about Messi. Like, you know, when you like the beautiful game, I point you to there you go.
That's the thing. See, Thierry Henry, here's some stains I'll put on his reputation. Awful in a final. I couldn't find him in a final. Never scored a fight in a final for Arsenal. Pitiful, and we always lost them, by the way. And when it came to the big games, let's say away from home, other than Anfield, I don't know where else he's scoring goals. Aguero turns up to your perch and he's bagging one. He is bagging one. Yeah. Abdi 065 is spot. The goals he scored
on a regular
alone.
On a regular.
You're saying
I hated him.
He wouldn't clap at Stamford Bridge. I think he scored the most goals at Stamford Bridge.
The goal, Oscar. There was a year I was working. There was a year I was working at Chelsea, and City were playing in black. They turned up at the Bridge and they won 1-0. Aguero's goal with his left foot, by the way. It was his left foot. It was on his weaker foot, and he buried it in the top corner. I said, you know what? This guy is gangster. Because Aguero doesn't even have to be on form. He could have the most awful game. You give him one shot on goal, he's scoring it. He's frigging scoring it. Yeah, that's the only stain I'll give Thierry Henry is that Aguero will score at your perch. We're guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed. SW6 says, Aguero smoked. He scored like 8 goals. I think he's got the most of his. He's got the most top 6 goals, and the most of those goals were against Chelsea. Like is
it? Or the most against Chelsea? Because he's got a few he's got a few at Old Trafford. He's got plenty at the Emirates. I'll tell you that now, he's got plenty at the Emirates.
Loads against Liverpool.
Huh?
Loads against Liverpool. I'm not sure at Anfield, but it's definitely piped us at the Etihad many times.
When it comes to Etihad,
Henry is the greatest player to ever play in the league. Henry 2006 had completed the game and made it look like Sunday League. It had become too easy. The fact that you see what's so crazy? If you change 06 for 02, 03, 04, or 05, I wouldn't have argued with that statement because he was the best in all of those years.
06.
In 06, in 06 he stopped trying. No word of a lie. In 06 he stopped trying.
In the final against Barcelona,
his head was turned. But even watch the games at Highbury when he would score goals. It was in his sleep.
Remember, he was dancing with Adebayor on the touchline.
He scored 27 league goals in 06.
He didn't care.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Oscar, he did it in his sleep. His best, the year when he was ready to kill. The year when he was ready to kill a man, go watch his 2003, just the whole year of 2003. So from the 02 season to the 04 season, the year 2003, do you know what? He was so pissed off Man United won the league in 2003. He was livid, and he played like he was livid. He was fuming. He was fuming.
Says, nah, you know why I say 06? He was comfortable. He was Freezer in final form.
Burgundy kit. I feel you. Listen, you watched the home games in that Burgundy kit, and he was scoring goals. Like, okay, can I move club now, Wenger? When can I go to Barcelona?
Is that what it was?
He was pissed off
because he just wanted to give Emirates a hybrid good send.
No, he also wanted to play his first year at the Emirates, but
yeah.
You know, some of the goals I remember against Liverpool.
Probably break Wright's record as well.
Yeah, he broke Ian Wright's record that year. Yeah, that year.
So that's probably a factor. Yeah.
No, there was don't get me wrong, but he could tell he was a man who was pissed off, but he was scoring goals. He was absolutely scoring goals. Oh wow!
Right, on to the next question.
Cool.
Let us know where you put Aguero in your table.
Comment below.
Right, this one is gonna be an interesting one. Very simple. Throughout their whole time in their careers, did Wayne Rooney or Steven Gerrard fulfill their potential?
Yeah. Wayne Rooney, used up Rooney used up all his prime years early, and then you saw at the end he fell off. Yeah. Gerrard, I think he did just all Gerrard was just Premier League. That's it. That's all you can say.
But would you argue that's not him fulfilling his potential because a player of his caliber should be winning a Premier League trophy?
No.
And had he left Liverpool,
he's saying that's the case. He's saying that's the case.
That's all you can say to Gerrard. Yo, you didn't win a Premier League title.
No, but that's a big thing, though.
Yeah, but that's not Gerrard not fulfilling his potential.
That's
Is it
yeah.
not?
No, because as you said earlier, he was winning Team of the Year. He was in Team of the Year those seasons. He was nominated for Ballon d'Ors and this and that. He was playing at an elite level, good enough to win the league. It was the team around him that weren't good enough.
But the question I'd ask you, was Gerrard good enough to be a Premier League winning captain?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a better team.
With
But
a
he
better
wasn't.
team.
But it's not down to him that he wasn't. That's my opinion.
Bro, you had Saka, Skirtle and thing in your flipping defense plan. You're not winning the Premier League, conceding 50. What else can you do, bro?
Do you know what, David, though? The question is, did Gerrard fulfill his full potential? No, is the answer.
He didn't.
He didn't.
What do you mean?
How?
He didn't.
So we didn't see fully. No, because what you're saying, is like, okay, he was a hot prospect and he didn't become world class. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
No. That's not
so
what we're saying.
what you guys are saying. So when you look at Steven Gerrard, like David was saying, when he came through as a prospect, do you think he should have been a better player than he was?
No.
That's not the question I'm answering.
But that is what
the question. Okay, let me pose to you this question: the talent that Gerrard is, the things that he done on that football pitch. Are you telling me the maximum would be his Champions League and a few FA Cups, no Premier League title, no chance?
I'm not factoring in the trophy.
That's what I'm factoring in. I'm definitely factoring the trophy.
I think we have to, though.
Okay. This is a perfect example. Robin posed us two questions. He said Wayne Rooney and he said Steven Gerrard. When we go to talk about Wayne Rooney, you can't chat to what my man accomplished in the game. He won everything at club level. He did it all. Yeah. Unless you want to talk about internationals, fair enough. Achieved. But when it comes to this, when it comes to Rooney, the only reason you would question Rooney is because you would say, based on how he came through, I thought Rooney would be better as a player. You can't say he would have won more leagues because he won all the leagues he needed to win. He won the Champions League. When it comes to Gerrard, however, so let me finish. When it comes to Gerrard, you can't say Gerrard should have been better. You can say that about Rooney. You can't say it about Gerrard. Gerrard was the best version of him.
He should have won more.
Yeah, exactly.
But Rooney, Oscar, and Rooney, by the way, Rooney should not be in this question. He 1000% fulfilled his potential. 1000%.
No. Hence why I said he came through, he played, and then he fell off at the end.
He did fall off, but we got everything. We got everything. He's England's all-time goal scorer, and he's Manchester United's all-time goal scorer. The case is done.
Pete, there's a difference. So, for example, SW6 says Rooney did fulfill in the end, but Euro 2004 was different. Rooney 2004 was different. Now, for example, Kylian Mbappe burst onto the scene. Yeah, Kylian Mbappe can finish his career as France's all-time top goal scorer, but the player that I think Kylian Mbappe should become might not become that. Now, I think because of the injuries and the things that happened in his career, Wayne Rooney didn't become the player that Wayne Rooney should have been.
Sure.
He didn't. So when I look at
the question is, did he reach potential? Could be like this big though, innit? He got in the potential. He did reach his potential. It just might not be at the roof of it, but he definitely reached his potential. No, it's not even
as long as
it's not a question. He reached his potential. He definitely did.
I think when you look at the stats and everything he achieved, you're like, yes, this guy was England all-time greatest scorer, Man United all-time greatest scorer, he won all the trophies. As a player, we expected Rooney to be Ballon d'Or.
What year would you say Rooney started to teeter off? How old was he? Because I think this is very unfair on Wayne Rooney.
I don't think.
No,
because even if you go as late as even like 2010, when he was the main striker at Man United and scored 27 goals in the league, my God, that was the gunman Rooney. That was Rooney at the peak. That was the gunman Rooney right there.
After that, when he started moving him around.
But check this, David. He came in 2004, yeah? And we're talking about him in 2010, but we're still saying after that. No. We got 2004 to 2010. We got a Rooney. We saw a baby be born and grow into a monster. And he was an absolute monster up to 2000. You can even say 2012. He was still bagging in stuff for Man United.
What I think people's stance is?
What's that?
Because I think people look at it as black and white as this. At 18, he was better than Cristiano Ronaldo. And people say, well, if you fast forward 10 years from that, it should be a three-way race for the Ballon d'Or between Messi, Cristiano, and Rooney. And the facts that Rooney wasn't in that debate is what leads people to say he didn't fulfill his potential if he started off better than them, man. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah,
Can I say something
saying
unpopular?
that,
I'll say something unpopular. As much as in 08, 09 and the like, we rated Manchester United because they were like the best team in the Premier League. When they met Real Madrid and Barcelona's, my God, the class was different. Those two finals that Man United played Barcelona in, it was a different gulf in class. And if Wayne Rooney played at, say, Barcelona, you're talking about those Messi numbers as not as high as Messi.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
I'm talking those Ronaldo numbers at Real Madrid and those Messi numbers at Barcelona. He would not be that far away from them. Like Suarez wasn't that far away when he joined, or Benzema's numbers.
Okay.
Rooney, like in England, we had this scope of what, how great Rooney is and how great Man United were. When Man United went to go meet the big fish, my God, it's not what it is now. Definitely not.
Also, do you think as well, obviously you mentioned the whole going abroad thing. Do you think some of the shiny allure has been taken away from Rooney because we were taking him for granted? Because we see him
also, I would argue in those two finals that we faced Barcelona, like we weren't the number 2 team in Europe. I wouldn't say that.
It don't matter. You got popped, bro.
I know, but I'm saying that team was Barcelona team was stupid.
Yeah, it was.
So
but it was
when you say meeting a big fish, the only big fish was Barcelona.
I'm sorry, no. Can I just no?
What?
I just know because in 09 Chelsea were better.
Chelsea.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong.
That was absolutely disgrace. That was
rigged.
That was disgrace. That was disgrace.
Has that guy refereed again since then?
Got the World Cup final, I think.
You better sleep with one eye open, man. If I ever catch it, wait. But Man United were better than us at that time. Man United were better than us. They edged it, like it wasn't by much, but they were better than us. Yeah. In 08, United were the best team in the world. Like they won the Champions League and they won the English Premier League. And I think in that period of time, 07, 08, 09, Rooney was not the best Rooney because they were accommodating for Ronaldo. That's how I feel.
Your argument could be made right because in 2010, what did Rooney do? He said, you know what? He said, you know what? Man, that Rooney with the black V Man United. My God!
Think about the Rooney that Manchester United signed. Yeah, when he turned up from Everton and started badding it up the Champions League in his first ever season.
His debut, he scored a hat-trick against Fenerbahce.
That was different. So maybe it's my own fault. Maybe it's my own.
You took him too high.
I thought Rooney was going to be it, and he never quite became it. But he's one of the greatest players ever to play the game.
For sure. For sure.
Do you know what? I do think like the fact that we're even having this debate is testament to the beast Wayne Rooney was, because Wayne Rooney conceivably has had one of the best careers of all time. So the fact that we're even sitting here on this forum and have the audacity to even answer the fact, to even pose the question, did this guy fulfill his potential? What? As Peter said, England's all-time leading goal scorer, Manchester United's all-time leading goal scorer. Yet we sit here today on the 11th of October to ask this question.
But he's Manchester United's all-time.
And
United.
Did he do more? Could he have done more?
Could he have done more? Champions League.
It's little things, isn't it? I suppose people would have expected him to break Alan Shearer's record, like little things like that.
Probably.
It's just when I look at Gerrard, I don't look at anything in his game and say, "Oh, he could have been better at that." I don't ever.
Premier League title. That's all you can say. You didn't
okay, let me ask you this question. Let's fast forward 40 years. Gerrard is an old man. Rooney is an old man, right? They're the rocking chairs. You ask Wayne Rooney, do you have any regrets about your career? What do you think he'll say?
Yeah, should have left.
No,
should have left United when he had the chance. Yeah,
I definitely think he would feel like he wished he left Man United earlier for sure.
Oh, raw. Well,
because remember he took the piss when it came to those contracts. He milked 300 grand a week.
Big up Honcho.
Let
me read some of the comments because this Rooney chat has got a lot of people talking. SW6 says Rooney did fulfill in the end, but Euro 2004 Rooney was different, bro. Before he got that injury, Rooney was a different guy, bro.
I was gutted when he got that injury. That hurt me, man.
Abdi said, "Man, them DPs, England and Manchester United's top goal scorer, greatest British player of all time. I can't even argue with that." Pro Only TV says Rooney did fulfill his potential. I think Gerrard suffered from timing at Liverpool. Their team was not complete. Yeah, could not compete in the best years. Abdi says, "I got a Man United agenda, and it's coming through today."
No.
Are you forgetting skinhead Rooney? Up until 2013, he was the best player in the Prem.
2011 and 12. I'm trying to remember. Because City had a great team, didn't they? They
were the bicycle kick, 2012.
It was 2012, yeah.
Yeah, so that's sort of error.
But that was people were doubting Rooney then. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like Rooney was in question then. I remember that much.
Ridiculous. These times he was a 10-year pro at that time, at 26.
SW6 says Rooney defo reached it. It's just Cristiano and Messi came through with next level. When you look at him in isolation, he's sensational.
That's the thing, isn't it? He
as well. His goal was incredible.
Mate, he's got about 30 goals at the Emirates. I'm pretty sure of it. The thing is, Rooney came, like you said, at a time where they brought in two frigging giants. Yeah. And if he didn't have Ronaldo in his team, like these players who are so far and beyond, like amazing, like Harry Kane and blah blah. They were the single man at that club. Shearer at Newcastle, single man at that club. Gerrard carried Liverpool on his back. Rooney constantly had world-class talent in his team.
Until Ronaldo left, and then they started buying duds.
I'm going to end it there.
But just one final point. I do think, so obviously, let's sort of look at Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney. I do think a big part of why people say Rooney didn't fulfill his potential is because he didn't necessarily look after himself the way an elite player would. So I think in the back of people's minds, what they're always thinking is, if he looks after himself the way Cristiano did, how good could he have been? I think that's probably what's lingering in people's heads.
Because he was out linking grannies and that.
Linking grannies, drinking beer.
But his fitness was never in question, though, was it? He still put the money on the table.
No, but it was like a Luke Shaw thing. It's like, like you're playing at a high level, but you're not necessarily an athlete, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, that's true.
Man. Big up Huncho. It says Chelsea's still doing a double this season.
You'll be lucky to win one this season, Huncho. You'll be lucky to win
FA Cup
one.
and Carabao Cup, yeah?
Them ones.
Hey,
okay. Final question for the mandem and also people in the comments. I want to hear everyone's points on this one. I want to hear everyone's points. Now, if you could change your team that you support with zero backlash, no dramas, nothing, you can happily change team. Would you, and why? And which team would you change it to? Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the question was, would you?
I thought it was you had to choose another team. Your team.
Yeah.
I thought you had to choose another team.
Technically, you can change teams.
Yeah, technically you can.
I mean, some of us know about it more than others. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. You could. No, you could. I think you will know my answer. The only other team, big up Hancho. Man said he swapped Chelsea for Burnley. And he's not joking. Oh, Abdi says he would never change. I feel like the only team I have some sort of I would never change. I love Chelsea, so if you're asking would I? No. If I had to, the only team I have any affinity to is Newcastle United, and I'm not just saying that because they got a takeover.
Okay, I'll slightly change the question to make it better. If you had to change team with zero backlash,
Abdi called me the Ugandan Geordie. Aye, man. Aye. Yeah, man, I'll be a Geordie, man. You'll find me in Shearer's bar having a Newcastle brown ale. You already know. I'd be up there every Saturday, black and white. If it was for a club outside of England, I'd definitely be a Bayern Munich fan, 100%.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you'd be Bayern Munich, to be fair.
I'd definitely be Bayern.
It's a difficult one. AD, who would you choose?
No, I think I'll be real. Obviously, I love my club. I wouldn't change it for the world. But for the purpose of this question, when I was growing up, particularly in school, my life was difficult, man. It was so hard being a Liverpool fan. No, I'm being deadly serious. No, sometimes, and sometimes, I used to look up in the ceiling at night. I think, would my life be better if I supported Man United?
Them one.
No, it's true because you look at it and you say they're the team that's winning. They're there's like you couldn't send for Manchester United back in 2009. They couldn't want for anything. Champions League winning, league winning. So you sit there and you say to yourself, you know what?
Secondary school life was good.
It was good. But football's football. Like you will never be able to love any other club the way you love your club. You know what I mean? Like the peaks and the troughs is why I love Liverpool so much. So yeah. But I think back in the day, probably would have been United. If I was to do it now, it would be for like a Leicester or something.
Adrian, didn't your hatred override? Because personally, I get what you mean, especially growing up supporting Chelsea when we weren't winning things. I always saw Man United and hated them so much that I would never want to be them because I hated them.
Why get mad? Get even.
It was never envy. Was it never envy? It was just hatred.
No, it was hatred. I think when Arsenal went invincible, I had envy. I had envy when that team was just so good. Man United, I just hated them. I always hated them. I guess I can read out some comments before David goes. SW6 says Arsenal is the only other team I like because of Ian Wright's influence.
And Henry later on as well.
But Henry, for me, you heard me talk about Henry on this pod. Like, it's Henry, like, bruv, the guy was insane. Huncho says I'd pick Arsenal or Barcelona. Oh, Peter. You're not going to say, is Barcelona not one of yours?
It's a difficult one because my first actual game I watched was Inter, which is why, Robinho as well. It's why I got that affinity with Inter Milan. My first experience of football was when Zamorano and Ronaldo played up front for Inter Milan. And the whole 1+8 thing, always like, as a kid, I'm like, what is going on here? What's going on here?
Robin, your headphones, fam.
Your speaker.
Mad again.
Yeah, bro. It's because you had it hidden there.
Sound like you're underwater, mate.
That's why I was talking to Kane.
I was saying, like, when I was younger, like watching Italian football, I think it was just the AC and Inter Milan beef. I just was like, and watching the football in the family, it's like, one person would pick AC, and I was like, I want to be Inter Milan, I'm going to be blue. So when I was younger, that's why my love for Inter came from. So
yeah, R9 did it.
In terms of, for me in the Premier League, like I was young, I think I would have gone Arsenal. I think I would have gone Arsenal because I never had an affinity with Chelsea. I just didn't like them. There was just, when growing up, there was just blue everywhere, and I was like, "What was this?" And and yeah, Arsenal was just the other team. Like when getting to understand football, they were one of the big teams, if that made sense. But when I saw Man United, I was like, "Oh, this is the team. This is the team that I love the most." So yeah.
Yeah, I can't lie, man. I'm struggling with this one. In terms of Premier League, I can't think of one that I would definitely like. Do you know what I'm saying?
Go Dortmund.
Yeah, I'd definitely go Bayern over Dortmund if I'm honest. I'll go City.
How you go, Man City?
Do you know whose fan base? Do you know whose fan base I do like, and I get along with them like off the bat. I always get along with these two fan bases. I get along with easy.
I know it. I know what you're gonna say.
First of all, yes, Hammers is definitely one. Hammers is definitely one. But even with Oscar's point on Newcastle, I don't know what it is. But like even at my uni, when I went uni, I knew bare Newcastle United fans, and mate, it was a flipping, it was a laugh. It was a great place to visit on the weekend and whatever else. But the thing is, I can't support a club that I was not living near. Like, the thing I used to get onto Man United fans about, you glory hunters, blah blah blah. You've never been to Old Trafford, you've never been to Manchester, so it was impossible for me to support a club in the Premier League that was not even in London. That was impossible. So really, I think it would probably be West Ham. But you know who I do like as well, by the way? I like Everton. I've always liked Everton from like the 1-to-1 days. Back in the day when they used to have the 1-to-1 sponsor. Fanny Jeffers, Kevin Campbell. Good times, man. So, yeah, I've got an affiliation with West Ham and Everton and Newcastle. But, yeah, I really can't decide. West Ham probably because they're London. Literally.
Pros Only TV says the Real Madrid.
Them ones. That was straight out of the bat.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, bro.
Like, do you know when you leave the Prem, the only place during those time, the only place you leave the Prem is to go to Barcelona.
No, guys, I got a friend here. A friend who is from Sweden, yeah, and he supports Real Madrid, and I find it so weird that he's a fan of Real Madrid. I'm like, isn't that just like it's like supporting Hollywood? It's like how can you support Real Madrid? He sits down and watches Real Madrid games every Saturday, and I'm like, fam, you're the Galacticos. That's not a real team.
In fairness, what is he supposed to support? Helsingborg? You know what I mean?
I just feel like Real Madrid are not.
Don't sleep on Malmo. They're Champions League.
Bro, do you know what? I know a Don literally who lives in London. I know a Don in London who supports Barcelona. He doesn't have a Premier League side. Doesn't have an English side. And we're talking like
is he part of those clubs, like those overseas clubs, if that makes sense?
Like I don't know, but when I asked him, like we were talking like Formula One stuff, and I said, "Oh, what team do you support?" And he was like, "Bro, I don't want to talk about it." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "So I'm thinking it's Arsenal or something like that." And he goes, "No, Barcelona." I said, "Barcelona?" He goes, "Yeah, I support Barcelona." I was like, "Raw from London, like he's a Londoner." Do you know what I'm saying? So
no Spanish ties.
No Spanish. Bro, the guy's like legit. His name's Mahad. He's fully like, Carlos Soler, saucy player for Valencia. Saucy player.
Okay. Hunter said he support Valencia. I don't know who that is.
I bought him in Football Manager. Superb player.
Oh,
but yeah. I think that's David. Who would you say?
Who did you say, David?
Hammers.
Is it the Hammers? Yeah.
You Irons.
The fact that they hate Tottenham and Chelsea is a win-win for me, and they don't like Man United either. But yeah, that's what I would say. I would say that I could totally understand the Arsenal love though. Like even just the fact that you're black, Ian Wright, Henry. Like I totally get it.
But can I be real?
I also think it's a respect thing.
The Pablo Aimar Vicente era. What?
Kili Gonzalez. They lost all of their money.
What? Kili Gonzalez, bro. What? The rapper.
What, Mister?
Oh, Mr. Angulo. Canizares.
They want to win for cup.
I also think. To go back to Arsenal, I also think it's a respect thing because back then you guys were one of the top teams and you went invincible. So I think growing up there was a lot of respect for Arsenal. I didn't like you guys, but there was respect.
I can't lie, guys. I love Arsenal blood. I love Arsenal blood. Like in '98, and I'm watching Anelka go through on goal against Newcastle, Shay Given, and then I'm watching blood. No. I don't think you understand, fam. Like it was one of them ones where I'm just like, it was in the feels. Overmars, people like that. It was in the feels for me. I was on cloud 9. Dennis Bergkamp. Honestly, I would support Holland because he played for them. Like ask Oscar, bruv. I wasn't here for England. I was supporting Holland, bruv.
Even though he's too scared to fly. Fair enough.
Yeah. He was there at France '98. I'll tell you that much. He got there.
Yeah, Tuchel
he got the Eurostar. That's why.
was there a Eurostar back then? Flip me.
Yeah, started '94, my friend.
That Don drove, blood.
It says with Arsenal, I admired the football as well as Pires, Cole, and Henry with the night gloves. Arsenal were just cold. They did look like a shower team. Like they were.
They were the enemy. Like I classed them at the time. I classed them the enemy more than Liverpool at the time.
Yeah,
but when Henry, he says the night gloves. When Henry had the night gloves, the long sleeve and he had the socks up to the knee. And like when we wore the yellow kit, he wore the blue vapors to match with the blue clothes, and then he wore the red tick. Thierry Henry was something else, man.
He was the man.
Oh, bro,
in life, there's some guys that are the man, like Will Smith, The Rock, Thierry Henry's an
Henry was the man.
Do you know what? Like how a Barcelona fan would feel like Messi's going to score every week. Thierry Henry was always going to score every single week. It didn't matter who we played. He did not matter. If you score 30 goals in a season, you've only missed out on 8 games. On average, you've missed out only 8 games in the league without scoring. That's insanity.
You didn't play 38 anyway.
Exactly.
Bro, the Kevin Long and the Sam Vokes era. Anyone?
Sam Vokes, blood.
What's the name of that winger? Chris Eagles.
Eagles.
Oh,
Eagles. Former Man United.
Maybe Southampton because Ricky Lambert and Rodriguez.
Bro, that team. You see that Pochettino Southampton team with Lambert and Rodriguez. I was in love. I was in love with what I was seeing.
Southampton's a good city, good club. I like Southampton.
Yeah.
Liverpool, man.
Yeah.
I would never support Liverpool. Never.
No. I mean, obviously, we pillaged Southampton. We took all of their players.
Which rival? For me, Abdi,
United and Arsenal or Chelsea and United. For me, it's United and Chelsea in terms of quality, but in terms of beef, Arsenal.
In terms of quality,
I say in terms of quality, it was Arsenal because the Chelsea thing came out of the blue, the whole Mourinho all that stuff, and they just blew everyone out of the water, and it was like, okay, this is a surprise. Whereas in school or growing up, no, Man United and Arsenal, there was legit beef. Like,
bro, Robin, do you know, like, as an Arsenal fan back in the day, we knew if we lose to Man United, we don't win the league. We don't win the league. It's as simple as that. Yeah. If we don't beat Man United, or if we don't get beaten by Man United, we won the league each time.
Do you know?
Honestly,
do you know why I would say it's United Arsenal, not even. I mean, because for me growing up, obviously it was United Arsenal were the two big teams, and they traded Premier League titles. It was 2001 United, 2002 Arsenal, 2003 United, 2004. So the back and forth was crazy. With Chelsea, it was like Robin said, Chelsea blew everyone out the water, and our first two league titles weren't even title races. There was no beef. It was just we were winning the league. And then United came back and there was title races, but then they won 3 in a row. So it was, I think the United Arsenal was so much better.
The thing, I tell you what breaks my heart as an Arsenal fan.
Right, versus Schmeichel. You had the Ruud van Nistelrooy thing when he got batted up. Yeah,
I'll tell you what though, I hate the fact we never won the Champions League. I hate the fact. From 98 to 2004, how did we not win the Champions League? That's one. That is one thing that Wenger failed at. That I just think, flipping hell, how did they not win the Champions League? There was a time we were the best team in Europe. Like you would argue we were the best team in Europe, and we never won the league.
Yeah, man.
It's farcical.
Should have won it against Barca, but it didn't.
No, they shouldn't.
No, we were the better team, Oscar. But we were down to 10 men. We were down to 10 men for like 70 minutes.
Barcelona were the better team.
No, we were the better team.
No, as in like you were the better team on the day, but Barcelona were the better team.
Why do you say that?
Barcelona in 06 were better than Arsenal in 06.
I couldn't tell much of them apart, to be fair. When you think about it, the last season at Highbury Arsenal versus Barcelona, just Rijkaard's Barcelona before it peaked.
It's Ronaldinho, Eto'o.
Those are the two exceptional players you would say probably in that side, but that was it.
Ludovic Julie, you mugging me off. CFC Huncho says, didn't won it the year.
That season, Fergie flopped the base. The base.
Bro, Wenger flopped the base, fam. How are we losing to Wayne Bridge?
No, you got supporter.
We had freaking Chelsea. Listen, we went to Stamford Bridge. We got a 1-1 draw there. Nice. Away goal. Bring it to the Highbury. What? Wayne Bridge? Oh, piss off.
I guess who scored that day? Frank Lampard. You can just guess.
It was a
if we talk about old Chelsea, just assume Frank Lampard scored that day because it probably did.
Don't worry, Oscar, because I think 2 weeks later we came over to your perch and Vieira bagged one in the back of the net. Gave us the league title, almost, literally.
SW6 says, Man United are elite, man. They had everyone on the ropes. I hate it.
Listen.
I'm so glad Man United are in the mud. I'm so
99. Listen, Oscar.
Like, listen.
Right now,
Man United were
Adrian,
sorry. Everyone's
Robin. Can I tell you when I passionately hated Manchester United? From 1999 to 2001, I hated that football club with a passion, and there was so much hatred that it spilled over in the the 07, 06, 08 era, the other dominant era. I just had leftover hatred. I didn't have a newfound hate.
What, residual hate?
I just had residual hate. It was just constant.
They won 3 league titles in a row.
But Oscar, Adrian, in the year 2000, Man United had this gangster kit. Their home kit was so frigging gangster. I think they won the league by I don't know how many points. It was insanity. We went over to Old Trafford, got piped 6-1 with Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp. 6-1. I know we had Steppenloffs, but nonetheless, You know, I hated Man United with a passion. People like Sheringham and Solskjaer scoring goals. No, what the heck is going on?
Go to Old Trafford and lie down.
Lie. Man, them would eat.
Like now, you got Villa and flipping Everton going there having a pop. That never.
No, Oscar. In 99, though, I'll say this: 99 is the most jammiest season in football history because in 99, I personally think in the league Arsenal were better than Man United, but we lost the league I think by 1 point. I think you beat Spurs on the last day, and we just had to better your result, but we won. But then you beat Spurs. The frigging FA Cup semi-final when Dennis Bergkamp missed the penalty and then Ryan Giggs went on the other end. We battered you in that frigging game. Absolutely battered you. And then to win the Champions League the way you did.
Yeah.
My fuel.
The facts that Bayern Munich had its name on the trophy. And they had to read it.
You know who I have never forgiven for that game? Sammy Kufor. When he's there, he starts beating that pitch.
Uncle Sammy.
Uncle Sammy.
He lost his man on the corner, and he lost
his man on the corner. Honestly,
yeah.
Man United.
CFC Hunter says, "What were you expecting? Ornery in big games?"
Listen, man, he did perform in big games. That's not like he didn't. He did. Away from home, however, I couldn't find him. Unless it was Anfield or San Siro.
SW6 London says, Man United won the league in 2000. That blue sharp kit, digital days was a joke. Oh, that was a horrible kit. It was like
2000 was the worst.
Yeah,
like,
man.
99 was hard, but 2000 was hard to choose.
It was dark days, man.
Bro, they were like 35 points clear.
Yeah,
they were pretty god.
Right.
Like that. That's what I said. I feel sorry for United fans, the ones that are scoring and score now, because you're going through hard times. Like you never lived good, and
never. What being a football fan is all about. All right, you got to suffer.
Yeah, you got to suffer.
But never ignored. I can't lie. You've been ignored a couple times, man. Let's not.
No, they've not been ignored.
No. They've not been ignored.
We can't get Man United's name off our lips. Let's not do this.
I mean,
when Man United were in the Europa League, we were ignoring them games. Thursday night, I was not tuning into channel. To watch Man United in Europa League.
Having a laugh
against Zoya. No, you're right.
Nah,
you're right.
Have a day off. You
know what's funny though? After like fan base, like for example, Arsenal's fan base is what keeps Arsenal relevant because Arsenal should be out of sight. We shouldn't. They should be look like Leeds. We should be like Leeds right now. We should be out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
But boy.
Abdi says, but United and Chelsea were going far in Europe and won the league every year from 05 to 11.
But I would say the big four, all four. That 2007, 2019, and all of us.
Yeah. We lost the league by 4 points in 08. We lost the league by 4 points and we finished fourth. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we were third or fourth, but we lost the league by 4 points.
SW6 says United are approaching 10 years with no league title. That's a fact. That's true. That's true. That's factual.
Wait, 2013 is your last title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's gone quick, you know. That's actually gone very fast. That's gone fast, man. Flipping hell.
Newcastle United added into the mix.
Ooh, are you mad?
That's the other thing that worried me.
Who's going to win the league first? Newcastle United.
Newcastle United are going to win the league first before Manchester United. You heard it here first on the Top 4 podcast.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
We need to wrap it up now.
Wrap up, fam.
Wrap up.
Should we do the games for next week or no?
No. I was going to ask David, any howlers this week?
Obviously, blood. Not that bad, blood.
Oh, I've got to knock that guy.
Hold on, bruv. It's not your segment.
The answer is yes, SW6. The answer is yes.
If you got one, run it. But
actually, you can add on afterwards.
Yeah.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame. Once again, this guy has been consistent, bruv. Consistent in he just wanted to be in there. So today I'm giving him his jacket, yeah. This gentleman was born, the 7th of November, 1963, yeah. He's an English former professional footballer and manager, yeah. He currently works as a commentator and a pundit for ESPN and Super Sport, yeah.
Okay.
What? He's from Kingston, Jamaica, yeah.
Hey, he's a mug. You're a mug. The thunderclap.
He's played for Watford. He's played for Liverpool. He's played for Newcastle, yeah. And this guy consistently, when it comes to this issue, he's always butting in, blood. And so, well, actually, let me see if, and yeah, obviously he made some comments about Meghan Markle and that, yeah. I don't know what he said, but he's getting rinsed once again, trying to speak for black people, bruv, yeah. So, let me get his full name. John Charles Brian Barnes. You're not that guy, bruv!
Oh, God.
I don't know what he said. I don't have the quotes in me, but yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Was cooking him. Twitter was cooking him this morning, bruv. So I couldn't. I don't know.
We've got Ian Wright. You've got John Barnes. That is the levels.
Bro, says it all, man. Can you imagine? Wow.
I can't deal.
Apparently, this is just the quote I've picked out from his article in the Telegraph. He says most black people think, so what about questioning the skin color of Duke and Duchess of the Duke and Duchess of whatever Sussex, their baby. Twitter's cooking in blood. So Hall of Fame, John Barnes, once again, you're on the wrong side of the issue.
John Barnes.
Hall of Famer. Now the next one, Robin, I saw it, I already seen it, and then man put it in the group. This gentleman, this moron, was born on the 9th of May, 1992, in Espírito Santo, Brazil. He started off his career in Treviso, I think, which is in Italy, I think. Sounds Italian. Spent 3 years. It sounds Italian. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, it's an Italian club.
I was gonna say, fun fact: there's more Italians in Sao Paulo than there are in Rome. Put that in your pipe.
Huh? Are there?
Yeah. I mean, Sao Paulo is a big city, though.
Yeah, his career. He's a striker, and there's no stats for him. He currently plays for Unai Federações in Brazil. And this weekend, blood, this week, when was the game, blood? They're obviously man's playing the game in it, Brazil. I don't know who they're playing, bruv. Yeah, but 2-2 now. Man decided because the referee, Premier League gets emotional. The referee gives away stupid decisions. Fans are giving the referee hand signals, blah blah blah. You don't know what you're doing. There's a level of anger that you feel. We get it, but you need to contain it, bruv. This gentleman, the referee refused to give him a penalty and then refused to give him a free kick when he got fouled. And so he decides to, first of all, he goes and fly kicks the ref. Now, man's on the floor, bruv. And then he goes and kicks him in the head, blood.
Nah.
Knocks him out unconscious,
Savage.
Knocks him out. They've called ambulance and everything, He's been arrested at the stadium and charged with attempted murder after kicking referee Rodrigo Crivellaro, whatever his name is,
No, this is Hall of Fame, David.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame, okay, no worries, Bruv, you're howler, bruv. Roberto William De Souza Ribeiro. You're not that guy, blood.
It's criminal. It's prison worthy.
I can't believe this is a story.
Put him in jail.
Put him in jail.
Throw him under the jail. That's
bro,
ridiculous.
he fly kicked the referee and then he kicked him in his head.
Oh, full on Randy Orton punt.
That's thinking the punt.
He's a mentalist. He's a freaking he needs mental help. He needs to go into a friggin'. He needs to be he needs to be in a straitjacket. That's a mental footballer,
Lunatic.
Because the decision didn't go your way. You fly kicked the ref and kicked him in the head. Nah, straitjacket. That is not funny. Oh my, definitely Hall of Fame. He was nicked for attempted murder.
Yeah. But he got arrested at the stadium and charged.
Wow.
Can I drop one? That's not.
Are you going to the one in the one that was in the UK, or are we leaving that one?
In the UK?
Yeah.
Yes. My one's in the UK,
It was in down south, blood.
No.
Okay. He needs to go in. He's not that guy. So I don't know for what. Basuma, you're not that guy.
Oh,
bro.
wow.
I forgot about that.
Let me do it.
Hey. You're not that guy, bruv. Gel.
Innocent until good.
Yeah, bruv.
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, you see the picture that they have of like his back or his his legs or whatever. Every man and his dog were like Basuma. I'm thinking, bro, why is everyone so quick to say it's him? Like, and then I was looking through the black players at Brighton. I thought, there's only one, you know. There's only one they can get. It's not.
It was the jacket. Apparently, it's the jacket that everyone socks on.
It's not Tariq. It can't be Lamptey. Lamptey was that guy was too tall for Lamptey.
He's a leprechaun. He's like 5'2". It's definitely not Lamptey.
Guys.
That's why I found them phenomenal.
I have another one. All right. I don't know if you guys are watching the international football, but stuff is going on. Yeah.
Oh god.
This gentleman was born on the 22nd of June, 1993. He's a professional footballer. Started his career at Wrexham. Had a spell at Liverpool. Now applies his trade at Leicester City. But it was his dealings as the number one goalkeeper for Wales in their World Cup qualifier against the Czech Republic. Did anybody see this game or see the goal?
I didn't see, but I've heard that there was a Mazin.
There's a stinker, Robin. There's an absolute.
You need to dissect it because it's wrong on so many levels.
It's
really?
wrong on levels,
so many levels.
So Aaron Ramsey has the ball in midfield, yeah? The pressure's on him. He's got a few men behind him, so you think, let me just knock it back to keeper, yeah? He knocks it back to keeper. Keeper does a Paul Robinson 2008 and just lets the ball roll.
No, bro. It was worse than that. I saw he tried to do a cute little flick. He tried to flick the ball up.
And it rolled over his foot and rolled in the net. I have the clip, but I don't know if I can play it. Will we get copyright?
No.
Nah, we'll be okay.
I have it on my phone, innit? If I
don't get copyright.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Oh, damn it.
Ooh. Lovely.
Absolute stinker.
Is that for 1-1?
That made it 2-1 check.
Guy. Oh, poor guy. That's so embarrassing.
Like, he's not a poor guy. He gets everything he deserves.
Oh.
Yes,
Now, goalkeeper junior, man. I got to stick together.
Howler. Hey,
Look at that.
Chris Kirkland all over. Peter Engelman.
Danny Ward.
You're not going to Qatar. I can tell you that.
I got one, guys. If we're doing the troops, doing the rounds.
Go on.
This man claims to be gangster, claims to be the baddest man on the roadside, and was up against a fight against the Gypsy King, if you know. And of course, this guy got his butt handed to him in round 11. The guy died twice, by the way. In that fight, he died twice. But I don't know how he came back to life. Third time though, he gets knocked out. And I'll tell you why I bring this man up. Because at the end of the fight, I don't know if you lot saw Tyson Fury trying to shake man's hand. You know what I'm saying? Good match. Man blanked the handshake. Blanking the handshake? You've played Tyson Fury 3 times. You've then lost in this third one and absolutely got your butt handed to by yourself. So Deontay Wilder, bang, you are not that guy. And I don't want to hear you again. By the way, did you see the pictures after his training? Did you see his legs in comparison to his torso? It's a frigging joke. He's a frigging joke. Never skip leg day. Never skip leg day.
The way that Tyson Fury celebrated in the ring by singing "Walking in Vegas," I was Ryan. Oh my god! If you have not seen the video, let me know. I will send it to you. It's so funny.
Walking in Vegas.
The mic and start singing karaoke in front of the crowd. Meanwhile, Deontay Wilder unconscious, trying to get back up to his feet. Crazy.
But you know what's scary? Deontay Wilder is genuinely one of the most dangerous men on the planet. Yeah. And Tyson Fury's just suns him.
Yeah. Listen,
it's scary, man.
If there's anything I've known growing up in Northwest, gypsies,
Bite your nose.
They don't know what. They don't know when it's over. They don't know when it's over. They don't lie down. They don't do nothing. They get up again. David, did you have another one?
No, I'm done.
I thought you had another one. Oh dear. Mate, that was some wild stuff, man. International break though does pose these stories, don't they?
Mhm.
Stories always seem to suffice in the international break. Premier League football will be back this weekend.
Actually, do you know who needs to get another? Who needs to get it? Sony, bro.
Sony,
Yeah.
go on.
I can't find the PS5 anyway. It's still up till this day. Till this
It's
day,
been a year
bruv.
still. It's been a year still.
Hold up, bruv. Bruv,
Wait,
I still can't find one.
Is there not one on site, Oscar? They've
No.
had a howler.
No,
Oscar, they've had a howler.
Hold on.
Don't come to me and tell me they've had a howler.
Hold on. Hey, do you know who else needs to get here? You see CX here, they need to get here as well, bruv.
CX?
They have 12 of them in store, yeah, but they're trying to extort, man. 720, blood. Are you dumb, blood? You're not that guy as well, bruv. Absolute tool. Retail price is 449, blood.
That's ridiculous.
No, but David, I said this to Peter last year, yeah, when the thing dropped. I said the PS5 releasing and there's no PS5s is the biggest howler of the decade. It's such a huge howler.
Is it a howler?
It's a massive howler.
No.
Everyone wants one.
Exclusivity, though, knowing it, like it's like
Bruv, I'm not playing that game,
You
bro.
wanted it. You didn't have to do that. Everybody wanted a PS5.
You know, that's true, actually.
Everyone wanted the
PS5.
It's not like they priced it out. So if you paid like £1,000, you could get it. Nobody could get it, even if you had the money. Nah, it's a stinker.
Me and Oscar argued this last year. We argued this through and I said, look, we're in a pandemic. Come on, not enough workers. There's bad things to how many components to make a PlayStation 5? God knows, right?
Nah, man.
A year later, and we're still here.
They released the pandemic. They knew what was coming. They could have delayed it. We would have understood if they delayed it.
Something is smelling. You know what I'm saying? Something's smelling over.
I'm not doing it, bruv. I'm not paying whatever stupid price. No.
But if you knew last year that you would have had to wait a year, would you have paid the 700 last year?
No.
Nah, man. It's a PlayStation. Come on, man.
It's a play. I'm not paying, bruv. Save that for your house, bruv.
I hate that.
Also, a shout out to the Formula One Mercedes team. They've had an absolute stinker this weekend as well, costing Lewis Hamilton points. they're not that guys as well, by the way. But I know this is a football podcast.
Please talk about Mario Kart again. Yeah, all right, mate.
You know you are. You're a bum, blood. You're an absolute bum, blood. About Mario Kart. Formula One is mage. It's too intelligent for you.
Nah, it's a great sport. Great sport, man. Donkey Kong with the power ups. I like it.
You see, Oscar. See you, bumble. That's what you are, man.
You are.
That sums up this week's top 4 podcast. I mean, there's been so many mares, and we've had a great time. We've had great debates, great questions. Newcastle are going to be the new Premier League champions of 2025, and we'll be here to lap it up with the Saudis and the crew them. Oh dear. Anyway,
everyone, man. What the comment is.
At Top 4 Podcast on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on SoundCloud, iTunes, and the YouTubes. Don't forget as well.
The websites are working again, so it's all good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, social media is back, people. Yeah, so there's no complaints. But yeah, big up everyone that's commented today. Big up yourselves, man. Thank you very much for your interaction. Without you guys, this podcast would be dead. So shout out to the man them. We'll be back next week. I won't be here, however, because the Arse are playing against Crystal Palace. So Oscar might have to take the reins. I'll jump in. I'll jump in after the game. You'll get that straight live post match from the car park, and I'll try and deliver.
Vieira, after Vieira wins a 3-0.
Vieira, whoa! I'm gonna honestly.
Handle is in the banner there. It's
I need tickets for the game, Pete, bruv.
Are you gonna ask me now for a Monday night football?
I knew Pete was going to say that.
Oscar tried to ask me for the North London Derby week of North London Derby.
You got any spares going for the North London Derby?
Yeah, mate.
Peter, Arsenal. I mean, Liverpool.
What, away?
Yeah.
The away. What, Liverpool? Arsenal playing at Liverpool in November? Yeah.
Lads.
Yeah. I think we can.
Can we discuss this? Or can we discuss this live? Man?
Vieira, whoa, the best Premier League player of all time.
He comes from Senegal.